Arena, it's time for Trailblazer basketball as the Dixie State Trailblazers get set to try to complete the weekend sweep. As the Orediggers of Colorado School of Mines are in town to face your number 13 Dixie State Trailblazers. We are live in the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Dixie State, of course, 11-1 overall, 6-0 in RMAC play. Colorado School of Mines, a close loss at Westminster last night, 8-5, 4-2 in the RMAC, and they're led by head coach Pryor Orser. Not a whole lot of time for a TDS pregame show. The women's game ran long. The Trailblazers rally from a 7-point deficit in the fourth quarter to claim a 77-72 win in the women's game. So that shortened up our pregame show just a little bit. In fact, a lot of it. Carrick Sagmiller, Mike Olson with you. Mike, give us a few quick Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game as we get this thing set to get underway.
Well, first, we can't let the Baker get cooking. Mason Baker, their leading scorer, had 23 last night. He's had 3 games where he's nearly had 30. Their offense is great when he is scoring the basketball, so they've got to keep that point guard in check. Number 2, Dixie's got to push the tempo. Tempo is so important tonight. You know, Colorado School of Mines likes to slow things down a little bit and execute. Jack Pagenkoff and his guys need to just get the ball out and run. And third, we're going to go with rebounding again, looking at the difference in when Dixie rebounds and out-rebounds their opponent and what happens to Colorado School of Mines when they are out-rebounded. It definitely goes in Dixie's favor. So rebounding is key once again tonight.
Those are Lonnie Boy Barbecue's keys to the game. I'll never be disappointed with you, Mike, because you have the best plays on words, the best analogies. Don't let the Baker get cooking. I love it. I love that. Part of your Lonnie Boys Barbecue's key to the game. Now for some quick Boulevard Home starting lineups. First for the visiting Orediggers, they'll start Mason Baker, Brendan Sullivan, Ben Boone, Michael Glenn, and Titus Reed. And, of course, for your Trailblazers, same 5 as last night, Jack Pagenkoff, Dason Youngblood, Frank Stain, Hunter Schofield, and Jared Green. The Trailblazers trying to wrap up a sweep of the weekend between their 2 games, between having UCCS in town last night, Colorado School of Mines in here tonight, and they're trying to complete the Saturday night sweep with the women's team getting the thrilling 77-72 win, and the men's team trying to wrap this thing up before they head back out onto the road for the only time in the month of January. Next week it'll be that long trip where you go to MSU Denver, and then you got to make the long trip up to Chadron, Nebraska the next night. But that's next week. We look forward to tonight. It'll be Green jumping it for the Trailblazers. And it will be Paul O'Leary jumping it for the Orediggers. The Orediggers are going to win the opening tap, and here we go. Mason Baker, 18.5 points per game in the upper echelon of the leading scorers in this RMAC conference. Mines with the first possession of the night. Here's Boone. A lob to Sullivan. He can score it. A lot of three-point threats on this Colorado Mines squad. Here's Boone, baseline left side jumper, rims out. And I think we're going to have a foul against Jared Green. In fact, I'm shocked the call didn't come sooner because he was around the back of Paul O'Leary.
Well, just out of politeness, they gave him time to get his saddle off. You know, he was definitely riding his back there. It's an easy call there for the official.
Green will pick up the foul. Orediggers still with the possession. Ben Boone to trigger, baseline right side. Lobs deep near the timeline to O'Leary, who quickly hands off to the point guard, Mason Baker. Baker into the corner, Boone. The angle right side, looking inside O'Leary. 6'10" redshirt freshman from Lamont, Illinois, is swinging around the horn. Baker for 3, left wing. It will rim out. And the rebound to O'Leary, but it's stripped from behind by Jack Pagenkoff, and here come the Trailblazers. The first time on offense tonight, Pagenkoff will wrap it around to Green. It's tapped out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Dixie State. Back to the Orediggers.
That's a tough pass there by Jack Pagenkoff. You love it, but you see he gets in the middle of trees, those big guys right there, and just couldn't quite get the ball around to Jared Green.
Still scoreless, 1 minute gone by here in the first half. Boone to the baseline, fumbles, regains, guarded, harassed rather by Dason Youngblood. Pass into the middle, tipped and intercepted by Hunter Schofield. Here come the Trailblazers. Youngblood to the left angle. Swing it back to Stain, the freshman. Had a career-high 20 points last night. Leave it for Schofield. Working inside, passing the baseline. Left side jumper, Jared Green, you bet. 2-0 Dixie State.
Dixie State anxious to get that ball into Hunter Schofield. Great job there, seeing the double team come and kick it to his teammate Jared Green for a nice mid-range jumper.
2-0 Dixie State lead, 18:20 to go. Lob inside O'Leary, shot disrupted by Jared Green. He comes down with a board, and here comes Jack Pagankoff. Coach Judkins urging him to push it up the floor. Pagankoff hangs and scoops. He'll get 2 free throws, couldn't connect on the layup attempt, but the foul will go against Michael Glenn. And Jack Pagankoff to the line for 2 vintage at Canyonland free throws.
Well, Carrick, one thing that Jack Pagankoff is very good at is when he gets the ball up, he gets the ball to the key every time. When he brings the ball up on a fast breaker there, he doesn't stop short. He gets into the key where it draws those defenders up and he can dish. If not, he takes it right to the rim. You can see that penetration right there. That's twice we've seen him get to the circle off that penetration. First one for a dish, second for a shot. So great penetration there by Jack Pagankoff.
Pagankoff makes the first free throw, have one more, splashes it home. 2 for 2 for Jack, and that trip to the vintage at Canyonland's charity stripe. And Dixie State a 4-0 lead, 18:05 to go. 2 minutes gone by first half. Dixie State showing some half-court pressure here. And the Trailblazers in a man-to-man defense early. Baker will hand off to Sullivan, and he'll splash it in. A three-pointer from the right wing. He is a shooter. He's also good in the post. A lot of three-point threats on this Ordigger squad. Jared Green to answer. Free throw line jumper rims out and into the hands of Baker. 4-3, Dixie State a 1-point advantage. Here's Ben Boone for 3 right wing. It rims out. Jack Pagankoff grabs the rebound. Jack in transition. Will stop and pop. Left wing 3, bang!
And that's where the penetration pays off, right? He's been flying down the floor, so they're expecting that drive. When he can hit that pull-up jumper, that is extremely tough to guard.
3-pointers brought to you by Mountain America. A 7-3 Dixie State lead and a steal. Hunter Schofield the steal, hand off to Pagankoff. Surveys his option, behind the back dribble to Schofield. 3-pointer straight away off the right side and into the hands of Brendan Sullivan. Mines will set up the offense. 3 minutes gone by, and the Trailblazers a 4-point advantage on your Camping World scoreboard. Ben Boone, did he step out of bounds? No, they say fouled by Jared Green. And that'll be Green's second.
You can see right there, his first step was towards the baseline. He's got to force him more to the corner to cut that angle off. That's hard for a big guy to jump out and try to guard, a quick guard coming off that screen. So his angle is so important, and that time it's just a half a step to the baseline rather than the side.
That'll bring Cameron Chatwin in for the Trailblazers. Ordiggers nearly turn it over, able to chase it down. A couple new players out on the floor for the Ordiggers as well. Titus Reed and Kobe Betts. Pagankoff a tip, and it goes out of bounds. Ordiggers will maintain the possession with 5 seconds on the shot clock, 16:42 on the game clock. Here's Betts, the free throw line, leaving for Glenn. 3-pointers, the shot clock expired. Is too strong off the back iron. Pagankoff the rebound. He tries to thread the needle. Cameron Chatwin wasn't even looking. It kicked out of bounds. And all 3 of the Dixie State coaches leap up and say, hey, good thought, but let's calm it down just a little bit. Let's be smart.
You see, Jack, that pass. That's a 30-foot pass, 30-foot bounce pass. That's a tough pass to make.
Pagankoff out of the break in action to Andre Wilson. He just checked into the ball game for the Trailblazers. Hunter Schofield, 15 feet from the bucket, baseline left side. Now to Pagankoff on the angle left side. Bouncing back in, re-entry to the block, and Schofield working inside on Reed. Gets to the lane and floats it in with the right.
Hunter Schofield's definitely got a size advantage. Reed, what is he, 6'5", so Hunter Schofield recognizes he's got a smaller guy on him, goes straight to the front of the rim.
15:57 to go. We got a media coming on the next whistle. Here's Baker, 3-pointer straight away off the back iron. Ball tapped around, it's loose and into the hands of Michael Glenn. And then a foul. I think we're going to get Frank Stain. It will be against Stain. 15:48 to go. It's the under-16 media. Dixie State 9, Mines 3. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back to the Burns on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
When Southern Utah thinks of home furnishings, they think of Boulevard Home. But when Boulevard Home thinks about home, Southern Utah comes to mind. In 1974, local pioneer descendant Tony Whitwer decided to start a furniture business. He decided to name it after Southern Utah's most famous street, St. George Boulevard. Even though Tony has retired, his family's legacy still lives in who we are, a company dedicated to one goal, making your house home. Boulevard Home. Home is who we are.
Tonight's game brought to you by Boulevard Home, our sponsor of our starting lineups, as well as Camping World, the scoreboard sponsor. And right now, Dixie State a 9-3 lead over Colorado School of Mines, 15:48 to go in the first. Mike, what have you observed in the first 4 minutes of this ballgame?
Well, last night at Westminster, they were 3 for 24 from the three-point line, and they have not shied off from shooting that three-point ball. They're 1 for 5 tonight, so they're still a little bit cold. But these guys are good enough shooters that, you know, when that shot gets, when they start hitting those threes, they're very dangerous. But right now, Dixie's lucky that they're shooting a very low percentage.
Back in play we go. Mines with the possession out of the timeout. Baker, baseline, the angle left side, gets into the lane, hangs, gets the ball up. It's short. Ball got hung up on his stomach for a minute. He got it up on the rim, but it was no good. Here's Wilson for Dixie State. He'll hang into the lane, fired up, and it's short off the front iron. Little out of control. He was wide open, could have taken the jump shot. Here comes Baker. It's stripped out of his hands on his way to the bucket and out of bounds. A couple Dixie State players pointing their way. Referees say no. Mines will maintain the possession.
You can see Baker trying to get in there. Hunter Schofield got his hands in there. Frank Stain got his hands in there. That's the third tipped ball for Dixie early on in this game.
Now working around into the right corner. Here's Titus Reed. He'll splash home a three, and it's a 9-6 Dixie State lead. Mines all 6 points from beyond the arc. Pagankoff leaves it inside for Schofield. Shot is partially blocked. It's loose into the hands of Baker. Baker 1-on-2 with Wilson and Stain. He'll split the defenders. He'll miss. But a foul, a whistle rings out, and free throws coming for Mason Baker. Foul against Andre Wilson.
You know, Mason Baker's 6 foot. You know, he doesn't have a lot of height, but man, he knows how to play. He's really smart. He knows how to get his shot and read the defense. He's very good at understanding where players are at. He takes it right at Andre Wilson, who was a little bit off balance, right to the front of the rim, almost got a 2-on-1. But he's a player that you'll see tonight. A lot like Jack Pagankoff, where he can penetrate, but he's also got that pull-up jumper. But early on, you know, he's been quiet. He's got 1 point on 0 for 3 shooting.
Makes both free throws. 89% free throw shooter. Now 70 for 78 on the season. It just shows you. I mean, through 13 games, 78 free throw attempts.
Yeah.
He's the point guard, and he's a shooter, but he knows how to get to the stripe as well. 9-8, Dixie State the lead. Here's Pagankoff. Wrap it inside to Schofield. Schofield can't handle it. It's tipped. And fortunately, it's tipped out of bounds by Ben Boone. Trailblazers need to take deep breath and just relax offensively. And a turnover, right as I say that. 9-8, Dixie State with a pair of early turnovers. And the Oregoners with possession. Betts to Boone. Boone to Reed. Back to Boone in the right corner. Guarded by Chatwin. Comes around the screen, kills the dribble. Bounces inside O'Leary. O'Leary working on Schofield. Kicks it out, Boone. Three-point land straight away. Bounces it back into O'Leary. Shot off the right side of the rim. And Jack Pagankoff the rebound. Pagankoff will try to bounce it across the court to Andre Wilson, and he misses Wilson out of bounds.
You know, that's another long bounce pass by Jack Pagankoff. More importantly, that's the fourth possession there in a row that Dixie has not got a very good look at the rim. And they're a little bit out of rhythm with their offense, not able to find or manufacture a good high percentage shot.
13:45 remaining. Here's Betts to Boone. Back to Betts, guarded by Dason Youngblood. Betts loses, regains. Finds Sullivan. He's got 1 3-pointer in this game. Over to Betts. Betts gives a jab step, then gets into the lane. Elevates, but can't hit the runner, and Dixie State the rebound. Up to Parker. Leighton Parker just checked in. Penetrates, now kicks it to Hunter Schofield. Mid-post right side. He'll force a shot off the side of the window, and it rims out. Ordigger's the rebound, and Dixie State is over 3 minutes scoreless now, 1 out of its last 5 from the field. After a 9-3 lead and a whistle and a foul, it's going to go against Andre Wilson. Andre tried to argue with the officials, saying, hey, look, Boone's putting an elbow in my gut. I'm just trying to make a play on that ball. There's Judkins trying to make the same case. Won't change that call, but maybe they'll keep a closer eye on it the next time around.
What he's saying is you can't displace a defender with your post, and so he was trying to convince the official that that was being done before the foul.
9-8, Dixie State holding on to the 1-point lead, 12:55 remaining. 12 to shoot for the Ordiggers. O'Leary, the free throw line to Boone. Boone, left corner. Sullivan will drive the end line. Layup attempt goes up and over the top of the rim, and then a loose ball foul against Sullivan as he fights for the board.
You see he drives baseline, and both guys in their position to get the rebound. You know, Leighton Park did a good job of sliding over and putting himself in position, boxing out to get the rebound. Now, it's interesting tonight, Ordiggers, they make 8 3-pointers a game, and that's a big part of their game. But the last few possessions, they've really tried to pound it inside.
Jacob Nichols into the game for Dixie State. Here's Youngblood on the right wing. Dribbles into the paint and knocks in a 15-footer straight away. His first bucket of the night, 11-8 Dixie State, a 3-point lead, 12:20 to go. Approaching the under 12 media timeout. Baker. To Boone. Now Reed. And Baker. Left wing. Shot clock down to 5. Baker. Open look for 3 left wing. It rims in and out. Ball tipped around and into the hands of Jacob Nichols and the Trailblazers. 11:50 to go in the first. Dixie State a 11-8 lead. Chatwin. They give him space. He splashes home a Mountain America 3-pointer.
It's nice when you can have your big man pick and pop and knock down threes. That's a great shot there by Cam Chatwin.
14-8, Dixie State, the 6-point lead. Immediate timeout coming on the next whistle. Baker will run over Chatwin, and an offensive foul. And Chatwin comes up screaming. The primal scream.
Mason Baker asking the official if he was in the circle. You can see here on the replay, just stepped out 1 step outside of that circle. Great heads-up play there by Cameron Chatwin.
Makes a 3 on one end and then takes a charge on the other. 14-8, Dixie State a 6-point lead, 11:26 to go. A 30-second timeout, and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family. Offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 130 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in St. George or shop campingworld.com today.
Welcome back, 11:26 to go. During the break, the officials came over to the monitor. They wanted to make sure that Chatwin was indeed outside of the restricted area. He was, and the foul stands. So Dixie State a 14-8 lead. Mines had chipped away, got it down to 3. Cameron Chatwin answers with a big Mountain America triple. And right now, Dixie State 50% from the field, 5 of 10, 2 for 3 from the outside, and they made their only 2 free throw attempts. As the Trailblazers maintain the 14-8 advantage, and cannot overstate the importance of this game and every game as the Trailblazers try to keep this, just try to build a new win streak overall after winning 10 in a row and then losing. But right now they've won 6 conference games in a row, and tonight trying to make it 7.
That's right, and that's huge. But on the other side, you've got the Ordiggers, who have got a 2-game losing streak. They lost to Southeastern Oklahoma right before Christmas and lost to Westminster last night. So that's 2 in a row. Very uncharacteristic for a team picked to win the RMAC Conference.
Youngblood working on Baker on the left block. He'll spin to the right, hook shot with the right hand, and it's too strong. Baker the rebound. He'll push the ball up the floor, accelerates against Youngblood. He blocks him. They're going to say he got him down low. Coach Judkins trying to argue that he leaned into Youngblood. And after watching those last 2 possessions, I'm excited to watch these two go at it the rest of the night.
Yeah, it's very solid. I mean, Mason Baker very crafty. We've talked about his ability to get to the free throw line. Now it's up to Dixie to make an adjustment. You know, he's been all dribble early. He's got a few looks at the three-pointers, but they were shot clock motivated. So he needs to, or Dixie needs to force him to hit some jumpers. You know, he's looking to drive, gap him a little bit, make him become a shooter.
Missed the first free throw. He'll have one more. He gets it. Splits the 2. He's got 3 points, all from the free throw line. 14-9. Trailblazers a 5-point advantage with 10:58 to go. Paganikoff to the right elbow. Had space, opted not to take the jumper. Instead, he'll bounce it into Chatwin. Swings it out. Jacob Nichols for 3. In, out, and in! Every bit of the rim and falls through. Coach Judkins has a little chuckle and says, we'll take it.
Priceless look on Coach Judkins' face when that shot went in. Jacob Nichols, you love his confidence. You know, he has stepped in and played some big minutes for Dixie State.
Baker double teamed on the end line. We'll swing it back to Boone. Boone into the paint. We'll leave it for Glenn, and he'll score it off the window. 17-11, Dixie State by 6. 10:15 to go. Frank Stain. Left wing, 1 dribble, inside the arc, lets a shot fly, and it's short. Rebound, Colorado School of Mines. Here comes Boone. Top of the key for Glenn, now to Baker. Baker will bounce into Boone. Backing in on Paganikoff, spins, misfires. Dason Youngblood the rebound. 9:45 to play. Youngblood with space will dribble into a 15-footer from the right side. It's too strong. And Mines with the rebound, 9:38 remaining. To the right side, Luke Golter will hoist up a 3. It's no good, but an offensive rebound and a putback for Michael Glenn.
You do a great job defending their shots, their sets, and then you give up an offensive rebound. This is not a team you can afford to just keep giving up offensive rebounds.
4th offensive rebound of the game for Colorado School of Mines. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball as Jack Paganikoff was setting up the play on the right wing. It will go against Luke Golter, his first. Line changes for both teams. We'll reset the lineups for you here as the substitutes make their way onto the floor. Leighton Parker, Josh Newbold, Hunter Schofield, Jack Paganikoff, and Dason Youngblood for the Trailblazers. For Mines, it's Reed, Sullivan, Baker, Golter. As Youngblood, baseline right side jumper, no. It's tipped into the hands of Schofield, though, and Dixie State will reset. The 5th Mines player is O'Leary. Paganikoff inside, shot is blocked out of bounds. And he kind of brought the ball down right at the last second, was trying to get around him, and here Coach Schroeder yelling on the bench saying, go up. Trailblazers still with possession. Youngblood leaning inside. He'll get it to go off the glass. In traffic, he's got 4, and it's a 6-point lead, 19-13.
Dason Youngblood is playing absolutely great right now. He's doing some very good things. I don't know what he had for his pregame meal, maybe macaroni and cheese, whatever it is, but he is killing it this early in the game.
Bring us some at halftime. We'll take a little bit of that. Sullivan traveled, and guess who's guarding him?
That's right.
Dason Youngblood.
Teenagers love macaroni. You know,
it starts from a young age, and they don't grow out of it, do they?
No.
They get to about our age.
That's right, and no thanks. But Dason Youngblood, again, statistically, you're not going to see it, but he's doing so many little things. It's his screens, it's his defense. Right now, he's guarding Mason Baker. He's doing a lot very early in the game.
8:25 to go. Approaching the under 8 media timeout. Paganikoff inside Schofield. He's working on Golter. He'll force up a shot, but he knew that he was double teamed and was probably going to get to the free throw line. He will. In fact, they call the foul against Titus Reed, not Golter. His first. And the 5th team foul against Colorado School of Mines. Frank Stain up off the bench. First free throw from Schofield is up and in.
Jason Youngblood reaching over to Coach Judkins, pulling on his jersey, saying, hey, man, I need a break. Frank Stain will give him a break, but, I mean, hats off. Great minutes there by Jason Youngblood.
And it heads up to recognize, listen, I've been going 100% here, 10%. Give me a quick breather, let me get a drink, and I'll go back out, and I'll be just as effective.
Yeah.
Schofield will make both free throws. He's got 4, and the Dixie State lead is 8, 21-13. A game-high lead for the Trailblazers. Baker, guarded by Schofield. Swing it near side of Boone. Boone to Baker. Into the paint, step back at the free throw line, and he sinks it. 21-15, Dixie State by 6. Media timeout coming on the next whistle. Here's Newbold trailing the play, leaves the 3 short. It's tipped around and into the hands of Ben Boone and then fouled by Josh Newbold. 7:50 remaining. That'll take us to the media. 21-15. Trailblazers by 6. Take the 1-minute timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
I got this.
That's why I use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy, so Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
Tonight's game brought to you by Dairy Queen, our timeout sponsor. Dixie State a 21-15 lead with 7:50 to go. Dixie State off to a good start. Pushed the lead to 8, down to 6 now. And spreading the wealth, Jack Paganikoff has 5 points. A couple of guys with 4 points. 3 turnovers for the Trailblazers.
Well, they're shooting 41% from the field. You know, they had a little stretch where their shots were kind of acrobatic and not real high quality, high percentage shots, but they've kind of made that adjustment and got back to a good rhythm. Shooting 41%, 38% from the field, 60% from the three-point line.
You see that last foul against Josh Newbold that sent Ben Boone to the line for a 1-and-1. He made the front end, earned another one, and he's got 2. And it's a 21-17 Dixie State lead. Schofield, hand off to Paganikoff, to Newbold. 3-point land straight away, now to Stain. Stain back to Josh. Josh to Jack Paganikoff. 1 dribble, steps into a deep 2, rimmed out. Offensive rebound, Newbold. Spinning in the lane, ball stripped, it's free. And Newbold's gonna get called for a foul, reaching over, trying to tie the ball up. Dixie State would have had the arrow. That's going to be 2 quick fouls against Josh Newbold, and that will bring Cameron Chatwin up off the bench.
I love his rebound right there. He went up strong, and he just couldn't corral it right there. But that foul, you know, that quick foul, you know, Coach Judkins is doing everything he can to get Josh Newbold going. You know, he's been in one of those slumps, and it's okay. He's got to get his confidence back. You know, Coach Judkins still trusts him. His teammates still trust him. Everybody has one of those slumps. We saw Frank Stain go through a slump, and he battled out of it. Hopefully Josh Newbold can get some confidence and get going, because we definitely need him.
O'Leary misses the front end of the 1-and-1 in Dixie State with the rebound and moving back down offensively. Cameron Chatwin to Schofield and Parker. Now to Paganikoff to the left side, and Stain bouncing inside. Chatwin banging inside with O'Leary. Hands off to Schofield, and he traveled.
with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And when the shot clock gets down under 10, you want to get a high percentage shot. And right there, Dixie got the ball on the block with Cameron Chatwin, and he could have easily made a move right there with 4 seconds and got a shot off.
21-17, Trailblazers by 4, 6:43 remaining. Wardiggers with possession, Kobe Betts. Deep 2 from the right wing, and it's good.
Well, here they come. We talked about them making a run from the three-point line. You know, they weren't hitting early, but they're starting to connect now.
A 6-0 run. And a turnover. Here's Baker into the right corner. Boone for the lead. Yes. Mines has the lead, a 9-0 run after Dixie State held a 21-13 advantage.
They're doing it again with the three-pointers.
Pagankoff to Chatwin. He'll try a 3 straight away. Too strong. Stain will tap it to Schofield, and the Trailblazers will have a fresh 20. Pagankoff splits 2 defenders, gets inside, flicks it up, and it goes. Somehow rolls over the front rim. He's got 7, and Dixie State back up on top, 23-22. .5:25 remaining. Betts to Boone. And an offensive foul inside against Michael Glenn, working on Cameron Chatwin inside. He gets called for the foul.
You know, Dixie needs this extra possession. You can see defensively they're forcing him. You can see on TV way outside the three-point line. They're keeping him outside where it's difficult for them to run their offense. That offensive foul right there sets up an opportunity for Dixie. They have a 1-point lead. They've got to execute. You can see Jack Pagankoff walks the ball up, waiting for a screen, looking for a good shot.
Right elbow jumper, rims out. Chatwin battling for the offensive rebound, but he can't get it. It's Baker instead for the Wardiggers. Reed to Boone. Dribbling left, passes inside, and an easy lay-in for Michael Glenn. He's got 6. And a 24-23 Dixie State deficit. 4:50 to go until the break. Chatwin inside, working on O'Leary. Gets him off his feet and scoops and scores.
You know, that shot is there for Dixie every possession. If they're patient, you know, their big guys are getting good position. If they can get it inside, they can start dominating, getting points in the paint. And that's going to help them extend their lead. That's what they did the first 10 minutes.
Betts, fade away, bank shot, off the window, no. And into the hands of Titus Reed on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball. I mean, Titus Reed was on the floor, so the 2 Dixie State players couldn't really go for it because they would have tripped over him. Then you had Betts coming in from nowhere and pushing Pagankoff in the back, and that almost started a little something. Yep. They were able to clear it all out, and stands up as a rebound for Reed and a tie-up and a jump ball. Those offensive rebounds, though. All those white jerseys there, and the guy laying on the floor gets the rebound. Pagankoff, guarded by Betts. Betts putting his hands all over him. Coach Judkins asking for the referees to watch it. 7 to shoot. Pagankoff, step back, gets Betts to slip and fall, then splashes in a 3.
You know, the best way to answer getting pushed is to go down and hit a shot right in the guy's face the next possession. So great job there by Jack Pagankoff, holding his composure, keeping his composure. That was a great shot. That step back was a great move. It was much needed 3 for Dixie State.
Dason Youngblood will get called for a foul on the other end. Remind you that 3-pointers are brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. It is time for the under 4 media timeout. 3:45 to go. Dixie State 28, Colorado School of Mines 24. A 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered. where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Referees came over during the break to make sure that Jack Paganikoff's step back three was indeed a three, and it was. He was behind the line, and Dixie State a 28-24 lead, but the foul by Dason Youngblood will send the Orediggers to the free throw line with 3:45 to go. You like the fight in Dixie State, though, to bounce back after giving up the lead. They fight right back, and they've got a 4-point lead for now with Kobe Betts, a 67% free throw shooter, at the line.
Now, hopefully this next 3:45 is Frank Stain time. You know, we need the freshman to get into a groove. Hopefully he can get going. He's 0 for 1. He's got 1 rebound. He's only had 11 minutes. Picked up a rebound there. Hopefully we can get the freshman going offensively.
Free throw is no good. And Dixie State the rebound. Paganikoff to the baseline to Stain. Chatwin, three-point land straight away. Passes to Paganikoff. Open for three, left corner, and he rattles it home. 31-24. Paganikoff's got 13 in the first half.
Well, that's another huge shot.
O'Leary the other way inside, and he'll force it off the window and in. 31-26, Dixie State by 5. Inside Nichols. He'll float it and score it over the top of Titus Reed.
He loved Jacob Nichols. You know, early in the year, he wasn't getting much time, and he slowly began to take advantage of the minutes that he's gotten. He does it with plays like that, where he's posting hard and calling for the ball, and he's got the confidence in that little hook.
The power of the mustache.
Yes.
And Jacob Nichols. Love it. Baker. Trapped in the corner. It's tipped. It's loose, but Baker gets it back, and he'll pass inside to an open O'Leary, and he's fouled. That'll be the 10th team foul against Dixie State. The foul will go against, did he say 32 or? It is 32.
Parker.
Leighton Parker.
Dixie had a great trap right there in the corner. It's exactly where you want him to pick up the ball and get a trap with a shot clock under 10. You know, they were poised to get a turnover or a shot clock violation there. But again, you know, it's Mason Baker's abilities. He's so smart.
Shows you how heady he is.
Yeah, he knows exactly how to play.
The first free throw is up and no good from O'Leary.
Well, you can see the conversation right there between Jack Paganikoff and Coach Judkins. They just set up their offensive play on the other end. Jack saw something defensively last time and was talking to his coach saying, hey, let's try this. You know, this is what they're doing on this screen. And, you know, you love a point guard that's always thinking.
Second free throw good from O'Leary. And it's a 33-27 Dixie State lead. As a team, Mines is shooting 76% from the free throw line. Tonight, below that at 60%. Schofield in the paint, kicks to Parker. Deep three right wing off the back iron. And it's kicked out of bounds by Baker and back to Dixie State in pursuit of the rebound.
That's not a bad shot there by Parker.
No.
It was a little bit deep, but
looked
still
good.
A good shot, yeah. And why it's a good shot, they went inside, it's come back out. They've got good ball movement side to side. So when a shot opens up like that, you've got to take it.
Paganikoff with new life for this Dixie State offense. 12 to shoot now. Handing off to Parker on a 33-27 lead. 2:05 on the game clock. Paganikoff dribbling left. Bouncing inside Schofield, left block. Floating with the left hand. No, a tip. But it goes to Mason Baker. He'll pass ahead to Titus Reed. Got behind everybody. And he's hammered by Cameron Chatwin. That'll be Chatwin's first foul of the night. And he got his money's worth on that one. He's making sure that it wasn't going to be an and one opportunity.
Yeah, you know, a very aggressive foul there by Cameron Chatwin. He was not going to allow an easy bucket. Like you said, you know, the officials talking about it, they want to kind of look at that a little bit. Cameron jumped up, but his arms came down. He swiped down at him. So, Real Benier, the official here.
It's our third replay of the night already. Some games you go without using it, and now the other referee coming over and saying, "Do we really need to look at this?"
Yeah.
It's a common foul, right? Let's take a look at it if we can as well. I know the referees are looking at it.
We do have a great crew tonight. You can see here that Reed comes in. Cameron Chatwin's good there. He's good. He blocks it, comes down. It's a play on the ball.
That's nothing more than a common foul, making a play on the ball.
He makes a great play on the ball. You can see his hand hits the ball. I don't think there's any contact with his face. His offhand's okay. Maybe coming down a little bit after he hit the ball, but that's a great play on the ball. Unfortunately, there's times where you do try to make a play on the ball and the face gets in the way, but you can see another great angle. A lot of it, he just landed funny on his foot. It makes it look like he fell back a little bit, but our official here, Real Banieri, he's a good official. He's done a lot of games here in Burns Arena. You see him doing a lot of other college games. He's a good official. We've got a lot of good experience here. He'll take a long look at it. But
goodness, this is our third review of the night, and you got to make sure, you got to be thorough.
Yeah.
But to me, I've seen that, and it's a common foul, and we should be be moving on. I love that the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, uses official replay. It's great. Some places you go, you don't get as good as looks as other places.
That's right.
But that's fine.
Yep.
But I feel like sometimes they take a look. You want to get it right, but we need to play basketball.
Yep. Now they'll go back.
Cap it. We should take 2 or 3 minutes and say, hey, if we can't figure it out, let's play.
Yeah.
I'll get off my pedestal.
Yeah. Well, it's good practice for the officials.
It is.
Unfortunately, it just kind of delays the game. Teams get in the rhythm. It's really hard to go. You play 18 minutes really hard, then you have a long break like this for 2 minutes, and then you go in at halftime.
But this is like 2 media timeouts, all in one.
But I'll tell you what, they're giving Coach Judkins time. If you look at Colorado School,
they're just kind of standing around.
They're standing around.
We say it every night. Coach Judkins never stops coaching. It doesn't matter if he's up by 50 or if he's.
Yeah.
We're upgrading it. 2 shots. Hey, don't react like that.
They're going to call a flagrant 1 against Cameron Chatwin.
Flagrant 1, so that'll be shots in the ball. And what he's looking at is coming down afterwards. That's a tough decision.
And here come the Boo Birds. Let's take a look at that one more time if we can. Upgraded to a flagrant 1.
I think this is the angle.
Reed makes the first free throw.
Don't let him jump into us. You see him?
And he misses the second. Four points for Titus Reed. 33-28. Dixie State advantage. After all that, Colorado School of Mines will have the possession, baseline right. Baker will lob all the way across the timeline to Brendan Sullivan.
Dixie going through a zone here for the first time tonight. Maybe cause a little problems, disruption here for the Ore Diggers.
Here's Betts. Floater in the lane is short and into the hands of Leighton Parker. Stain, left wing, will bounce inside to Chatwin. Working on Reed, and he throws it, and it's right into the hands of Kobe Betts. And the Ore Diggers regain the possession. And Betts will drive it around and try a layup. Did it get blocked? Went off of Jack Pagankoff's knee. I couldn't see. There's a log jam in the lane. All I saw was it bounce up and hit the bottom of the backboard. 1:05 remaining. Reed to Betts. Spinning is loose. And into the hands of Reed, but is stolen by Paganikoff. Jack in transition behind the back and up and under. Oh my goodness! Catering concept play of the game right there.
Oh boy.
Reed inside to the left corner, 3 on the way and in from Kobe Betts to kind of quiet the crowd a little bit.
Unbelievable shot there by Jack Paganikoff. Around his back, scoop shot underneath on the other side. You won't see this very often.
Behind the back, up and under. Our catering concepts play of the game, leading candidate. Coach Judkins calls a timeout, though, after Kobe Betts knocks down a wide open 3. He kind of looks at the guys in his huddle and says, will you wake up? Yeah, it was a great play on offense, but we got to get back.
Yeah.
And Colorado School of Mines, they didn't let that play phase them.
Nope.
They went right back up the floor and knocked in a 3.
Well, you've seen Betts and Paganikoff go at each other all night. You know, it's trying to one-up each other all night. You had the little incident under the basket and Jack hit a shot. Then you saw his great acrobatic shot down here, and then he comes down and Betts answers with a 3. So those two going after each other tonight.
What a play from Jack Paganikoff. Of course, credit the assist to Leighton Parker as well. With a 3-point shot, quickly quieted the crowd. 35-31, Dixie State by 4. 6-second differential between game and shot. Shot clock is down to 15. And Paganikoff will spring into action when the clock hits 10. Parker, left wing. Shot clock down to 5. They'll bounce to Stain, driving inside with 2. Hangs, it's blocked out of bounds. And it's going to be a shot clock violation.
You know, they held the ball. Hopefully, and what Coach Upton was going with the shot clock, if you can run the shot clock down and get a shot there, and if he misses, you still got 7 seconds to maybe get a tip or a putback or something. That time, ball goes out of bounds.
30-second timeout by Colorado School of Mines. We'll keep it right here. Timeout's brought to you by Dairy Queen. 35-31. Trailblazers a 4-point advantage. Another look at our leading candidate for our catering concepts play of the game. Leighton Parker to Jack Paganikoff behind the back and up and under. That was a beautiful look.
That was a great play.
Who is that under the basket down there, guys? Feed me that name in my ears. That is Kyle on the camera tonight underneath the basket. Kyle Rogers. What a look.
Great look.
Great job by our CEC TV crew. That was a fantastic look at that play. Mines, though, with possession, 7.4 seconds remaining. Inbound to Baker with 5, with 4, with 3. Sullivan open look for 3, and he knocks it in. At the buzzer.
That's a tough, that play there. You know, you've got the ball in Mason Baker's hands. That's everybody in the arena knew who was going to have the ball as the shot clock was running down. But you know that little, I can't see if he pick and popped or where he came from or why he got so open there at the top. But very well executed play there by the Ore Diggers.
35-34, Dixie State a 1-point lead. There's a few fans and a few people behind it clamoring for maybe a travel on that last play. As he caught the ball, he did take a step forward before, without putting the ball on the floor, but it stands as called on the floor and a 35-34 Dixie State advantage. And let's break it down a little bit before we go to the break. I mean, it's essentially, maybe let's just segue right into our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report, since we didn't have a very long TDS pregame show. And the Trailblazers, we always talk about basketball being a game of runs, and certainly that's the case tonight. As Dixie State, out to a big lead. Colorado School of Mines roars back, takes a lead. Dixie State fights back, builds up another lead, and then Colorado School of Mines with a 6-0 run to cut this lead down to 1 at the break. But the Trailblazers kind of fell asleep defensively the last few possessions, and Coach Judkins, even on the way into the tunnel, was letting his guys hear it, and I think that's been the difference. They're alive, they're jumpy offensively, they're making great plays, and then just not getting back and not helping each other defensively.
Well, offensively, they're just not clicking. They're not executing the way he would like to see them execute. Field goals, they're 13 for 30, shooting 43%, which it's not bad. The Ordingers are second in the conference in scoring defense. This is a very good defensive team, and they're smart. That they play very well together. They're not going to beat you with your athleticism, with their athleticism. They're going to beat you with just being smart, fundamental, and they just play hard. And their defense has disrupted Dixie a little bit. There's been some double teams. I think where Dixie's hurt them has been in the post. When they can get the ball in the post, they've had Cameron Chatwin, they've had Hunter Schofield a few times. If they can pound the ball inside and force a double team, then they can kick it out to guys like Leighton Parker and Frank Steen and Wilson and those guys to knock down some shots. But unfortunately, they're shooting at first without letting the post guys get a touch or get a chance.
InfoWest is here tonight, the internet people. The Wi-Fi inside the Burns Arena is powered by InfoWest, and they're a great Dixie State athletics sponsor. They're giving away a 65-inch TV, Mike. We've seen that up in the office. We've seen that TV in Wendy Bulkley's office, and we've been going, hey, how do we get in on that drawing? That's bigger than my living room wall right there. I wouldn't be able to fit it in my front room. But one lucky fan tonight is gonna leave tonight with a 65-inch TV. Speaking of TV and that kind of stuff, go ahead.
Well, we are about to see the most aggressive game.
Is it coming down to a game of musical chairs?
Musical chairs for a 65-inch 4K TV. So
we may need to. Do we have operators on the camera still? They're probably taking a quick break, man. You can see it though. With that wide-angle shot, this game of musical chairs that you're seeing, it has a 65-inch TV. It's Philips brand. I mean, it's not like it's one of those knockoff, Walmart TVs, which is what's up in my house right now. Hey, go for the size and the price, right? But man,
got game faces out there. Those folks are ready to battle.
Well, let's do this. It's going to take a minute to get through this whole game. So let's take a look at our first half highlights while we have a moment. Speaking of TVs and watching video, Hunter Schofield, over to Jared Green. He had a pretty good start. He scored 4 quick points in this game, and then picked up a couple fouls. Jack Paganikoff got going at 13 points in the first half. Dason Youngblood had a couple big shots early. I mean, everybody was contributing early.
Yeah, that good rhythm early in the game. You saw that the ball reversals. Cameron Chatwin hits this one at the top of the key. Offensively, they were looking real good beginning of the game.
Jacob Nichols, doink, 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 and it goes in. Doesn't matter how you get it in, right? As long as you get it in. Dason Youngblood again in the traffic. Gets it to go. Paganikoff splitting a couple defenders. He had a couple circus-type shots. Paganikoff step back three, gets his defender to slip and fall, knocks it in.
Reed, that was one that he shot over Reed.
Paganikoff again.
With Reed.
I said Paganikoff's only got 13. He's got 15. And here we go. Here's I don't see anything taking over that play right there for our Catering Concepts play of the game. We'd probably just call it.
That's it. Unless there's a half-court buzzer beater to win it, but it's going to take a lot.
My, oh my. I mean, that's a Sports Center top 10 nominee. We had the #1 play during football.
Yeah.
And that's a Sports Center top 10 nominee. Trailblazers a 35-34 lead at the break. And let's step away. Well, it's going to take a while. So let's go ahead. We'll step away from the mic, and you guys back in the TV or back in the truck, you can leave this stream. Maybe stay here so that everyone can see this intense game of musical chairs. Well, Mike and I are going to step away. We'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll continue on with the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report, give you some numbers and then our thoughts, revisit our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game and what Dixie State needs to do in the second half to try to wrap this thing up and get conference win number 7. Back in 5 minutes.
got you right where I want you. If I make this one, it's over. I win.
No pressure. Bring it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. That's a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. I mean, InfoWest is really putting on a show during this halftime report. Halftime report is brought to you by Seven Oaks Jewelers, but InfoWest, one of our other Dixie State sponsors, is here, and they give out a TV. They're giving out some prizes for the best section here in the Burns Arena, but this is the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. We welcome you back inside the broadcast. Carrick Segler back on the mic. Mike Olson will rejoin us shortly. The Trailblazers a 35-34 one-point advantage at the break. It was a 35-28 lead, a 7-point advantage for Dixie State, and then a 6-0 run for Colorado School of Mines. Got the Ore Diggers back into this thing right before the end of the half, and that's kind of been the story of this first half. We talked about it before we went to break. It's been the story of Dixie State starting with a run, Colorado School of Mines answering back, and that's basketball for you at any level. It's a game of runs, and the Trailblazers do take a 1-point lead to the halftime break. It'll be interesting to see how this second half starts, because it would seem like now it's Dixie State's turn for a run, at least in the pattern. It's gone back and forth. We'll see what happens. Coach Judkins obviously a wizard during those halftime breaks at making adjustments and getting his team to make those adjustments out onto the floor. And he was frustrated down the stretch with his team's effort defensively, just telling guys to wake up and to get back. And Jack Pagankoff made what was our leading candidate for our Catering Concepts play of the game, and then the ball went quickly back up the floor, and a three-pointer was converted by Colorado School of Mines, and Dixie State was still kind of celebrating that play. So the Trailblazers need to get back into this thing and need to wake up defensively, among other things. Dixie State from the field in the first half, 13 of 30, a 43% clip, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc, 55% there. Made all 4 free throw attempts. And that's one thing that I think Coach Judkins will want to do more in the second half as well, is get to the free throw line. Colorado School of Mines took 12 free throws to Dixie State's 4. Coach Judkins always wants to be at the free throw line more, and he'll want to do that in the second half. Individually, Jack Pagankoff, a game-high 15 points right now, leading the way there. Trailblazers are leading as we now revisit our Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game. Talked about not let Baker get cooking. And don't let the baker get cooking. That's what it was, Mike. I butchered your play on words there. Don't let the baker get cooking. He's only got 3 points right now. He's 5 points, on 1 of 5 shooting. He is 3 for 4 from the free throw line. He's getting there. I'd say that they did a pretty good job on that one, pushing the tempo. They are getting up the floor. However, the Trailblazers, with 8 turnovers in the first half, they're a little wild. They're getting out there. Some of those cross-court bounce passes and not taking control of the ball. They need to improve on that one. And then the rebounding, Dixie State a 19-15 advantage on the boards, including a 6-4 advantage on the offensive glass. So doing pretty well on those Lonnie Boys Barbecues keys to the game, but need to start taking a little bit better care of the ball.
Yeah, Orediggers hold their opponents to 66 points a game. That's second in the conference. We talked about that. You know, Dixie right here at 35. I think if you look at the tempo, I think I would give the tempo advantage right now to the Orediggers, just because they are forcing the tempo and they're dictating the pace of how this game is played. There was a stretch there. I thought Daisy Youngblood's 9 minutes. During those 9 minutes, they were in complete control of the rhythm and flow of the game. And when you look at minutes, Carrick, you know, you typically see a pretty balance between quite a few guys for Dixie State. But you've got Frank Stain at 15 minutes, Hunter Schofield at 13, Jack Pagenkoff played 19 of the 20 minutes, and then Leighton Parker and Cameron Chatwin off the bench with 13 and 15 minutes. So that lineup, Coach Judkins is liking what he's seeing with that group, and hopefully they can extend this 1-point lead. You know, that they need to, if they're going to win this game, it's probably going to have to be in the 70s, low 80s. So they've really got to get going and start pushing the ball, more possessions, and take control, but also take care of the ball when they do have it.
Colorado School of Mines, a team that's averaging 75.5 points per game while allowing 68.4 points per game. That's the number 2 scoring defense in the conference. So last night you had the number 1 scoring defense in the conference, and then tonight it's the number 2 scoring defense in the conference. And in Dixie State, we'll have to try to find ways to take advantage of them. They've done a pretty good job, and have had a couple different 8-point leads, and they haven't been able to push it into double figures. We'll see, you know, what message Coach Judkins gave them at the halftime break, and how much effect it has, and how much effort we start to see on both ends of the floor.
Well, it comes down to defensively as a team, you know, they cannot allow Colorado School of Mines to shoot in the 40s percentage. They've got to do a better job of forcing them out of their offense and making it more difficult for the shots that they do get. So forcing them out of the rhythm a little bit, disrupting their offense to a point where they're shooting, you know, 35 to 38% for the game. I think that's a sweet spot for Dixie tonight.
Trailblazers a 35-34 lead at the break. 19:48 to go. Dixie State on defense to start the possession of this half. Jared Green back in. Original starters for both teams. Into the corner. Here's Boone for 3, left corner, and he sinks it.
Hey, saw Frank Stain. He tried to get out there. He got screened, tried to fight through the screen just a little bit too late, but that's not the start you want for Dixie State. You can't let them get an open three-pointer to kick things off.
37-35. Pagenkoff to answer. Three-pointer off the back iron. It's loose. Jared Green scoops it in. Trailblazers have it back. Stain in the corner. He's got to get going this half. Frank Stain scoreless in the first half after putting up 20 last night. Schofield three-pointer straight away. Bingo. 38-37. Another Mountain America three-pointer.
It's a good answer, but you don't want to get into a three-point shooting contest with this team. You know, they're going to shoot a lot of them. And Dixie's good at shooting the three ball, but they've just got to be patient and shoot the right one. That time, great shot there by Hunter Schofield.
Here's Boone angling to the right side. Back left to Glenn. Glenn to Baker, and he's fouled by Jack Pagenkoff. And that's his first. Jack's got to stop and retie the shoelaces. And he had plenty to say about that call to a couple of different officials. Back in play we go, 38-37. Trailblazers a 1-point lead. Sullivan, left wing, looking inside O'Leary. Backing in on Green. Green trying to hold his ground. His shot is short off the front iron. Dixie State the rebound. Here's Pagenkoff. Jack in transition. Hesitates, drives inside, floats and scores. He's got 17.
That's a move that he usually goes from his right hand to his left and finishes with the left. That time kept it in his right hand, that nice right hand floater in the middle key. Great shot there by Jack Pagenkoff.
Three-pointer right wing for the Orediggers. No good, but an offensive rebound. Pass to Baker, and he'll knock in a free throw line jumper. 7 points for Mason Baker, and you don't want the Baker to get cooking
he's yet
in the second half. Stain to Schofield. Over to Youngblood. Youngblood left alone to fire a deep two. It's short, bounces around, and out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Orediggers.
Great opportunity there for an offensive rebound, maybe a tip. It's not a bad shot there by Dixon Youngblood. Coach Judkins just wondering where his rebounding efforts are. Hoping that he could get somebody down there to get a tip in or offensive rebound.
40-39, Dixie State a 1-point lead. 17-20 to go. Here's Sullivan whipping it back to Glenn. Pump fake, dribble inside, 15-footer, short. Green on the boards. He's got it, and he's hit across the arm. And a foul against Colorado School of Mines. And it will go against Paul O'Leary.
Now you can see Dixie State not really pushing the ball. Again, Jack Pagenkoff will walk it up, look to set up the offense here, get some movement. Hopefully you can see some side-to-side, but inside the post.
Trailblazers offensively inside Schofield, high off the glass. No, tip back out by Stain into the hands of Green, and his shot is blocked. They'll call it jump ball. It was tied up. Dixie State will keep it on the alternate possession arrow.
Strong move by Jared Green. He's going into a double team. A couple big guys there, but you know that's a tough shot to get over those guys. But again, Dixie's out of bounds underneath. Very good. They're very good at getting a high percentage shot.
Pagenkoff, free throw line jumper, yes. Wow. And he's just on another level tonight.
He is. He wants it. 19 points. 3 rebounds, 2 steals.
The other way we go. Jared Green will pick up a foul, and that is number 3 against Jared Green. And they're going to let him ride it out. They talked about it as a staff, and they decided to leave him in and see how it goes. Only 40 seconds to the media timeout. Here's Sullivan for 3, left wing, and he splashes it home. We're tied at 42. Sullivan's 3rd 3 of the night. Green to Stain, and a whistle and a foul the other way. Referee's really going to tighten this thing up here in the second half. And the foul goes against Glenn, his 3rd. Jack Pagenkoff, career high, 23 points against South Dakota Mines in early December, about a month ago. Youngblood inside. He'll score off the window. He's got 6. Pagenkoff with 19 tonight. Certainly going to make a run at that career high mark. Here's Baker. Driving to the left. Pulls up with the baseline left side. It rims out of Schofield's hands and into the hands of Titus Reed. Offensive rebound, Orediggers. Here's Boone inside. Shot blocked by Hunter Schofield and out of bounds. 16:03 to go. And Cameron Chatwin will check in for Jared Green. So they leave Green in for another half minute. He does not pick up his 4th foul.
Well, that's a
and
good
he'll
time.
get a breather right before the media.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a good time. Get him out right here before this media timeout. Perfect timing.
Reed looking for Sullivan. Sullivan will drive inside, runs over Cameron Chatwin. Offensive foul. And Chatwin's loving it. The second charge he's drawn tonight. And that'll bring us to the media timeout with 15:55 to go. Dixie State a 44-42 lead. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I have a backpack.
请所有同学回到座位哈。3。
Get our print curve in. And there's the final. Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why?
What's up, man? Hey, good. You played before, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's all
Okay.
state in high school.
Good. Let's run some routes. Give me a post route.
All right, let's do it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
$15:55 to go. Dixie State, a 44-42 lead. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Carrick Segler, Mike Olson with you. Courtside, we take one more look at Sullivan running over Cameron Chatwin, and Chatwin drawing the charge. And that was the second foul against Sullivan. But you love the effort. You love, every time Cameron's in there, he's looking to do something and to try to get some momentum for his team. And it's been working well for him in the minutes that he's played tonight.
Yeah, big minutes for Cameron Chatwin. That's his second charge of the night. He's playing hard. He's doing the little things.
Got 5 points and 3 assists in just 15 minutes of play. Schofield inside. Can't get it to go. Coaches wanted a foul, weren't going to get it. I had a sneeze. Ready to come out right as he was making that drive. Never a good timing. Boone inside, shot is deflected and chased down in the corner by Hunter Schofield. Paganikoff leaves his feet, was looking for Schofield, trailing the play, threw it away. Luckily, Dason Youngblood was there to chase it down. Here's Jack to Hunter, right wing three, in and out, tipped around. Andre Wilson, offensive rebound. Youngblood to the right elbow, lets one fly, rims out, offensive rebound. Schofield, the putback, yes. Schofield with just got 9 points tonight.
It's critical that Dixie puts together like 3 straight stops here. They need to put consecutive stops together to extend this lead.
13:40 to go. Dixie State a 4-point lead. Here's Baker. Gets away from Pagankoff. A deep two, missed it, but an offensive rebound to O'Leary. He'll give to Sullivan. Swing it back around. Boone for 3 straight away. He's had a hot hand tonight. Misses that one, though. And Andre Wilson the rebound. Wilson gets it back on the left wing offensively. Entry pass into Chatwin. Back to Andre. Wanted a 3, but he fumbled it. He knew he had an open look for 3, but he fumbled it trying to get the ball up to shoot. Bouncing inside, Schofield is open, and a late whistle rings out. 2 free throws coming for Hunter Schofield. And the foul is going to go against Sullivan, and that's his 3rd.
You know, we talked early in the game about how Mason Baker is very good at getting to the free throw line when he needs to. The same could be said for Hunter Schofield. He leads the team in free throw attempts. I mean, he's gone to the foul line 66 times this year. He's very smart. Going, you can see right here, very aggressive, right at the rim. Protects the ball with the left hand, shoots it with the right. He knew there was going to be contact, taking it very strong. Not afraid of contact. Hunter Schofield, very good at getting to the line. He's also a pretty good free throw shooter, so that really helps. That's 11th point tonight, 2nd Trailblazer in double digits tonight. You've got Jack Pagankoff leading the way with 19, but the minutes of Hunter Schofield playing inside has been very valuable for Dixie to extend their lead to 6.
And Schofield will get a breather as Nichols comes in to give him a rest a couple of minutes before the media timeout at 13:53 to go. Glenn backing in on Nichols. Gets into the lane, stops, shoots, can't get it to go. Pagankoff flies in for the rebound, his 4th of the night. He'll push it up the near side. Top of the key now, Nichols. Nichols stops the dribble, looking for help, finds Chatwin. Chatwin, and off to Wilson. Wilson spinning into the lane, throws up a shot, couldn't get it to go. Was off balance, and he had to just put one up, and Colorado School of Mines with the rebound. Here's Boone. Now Baker. Baker. Step back. 3. Rimmed out. Chatwin. The rebound, and he's fouled. And that will go against Paul O'Leary, his 2nd.
Mason Baker 0 for 5 tonight from the 3-point line. You know, and as a team, they're shooting 50%, 7 for 16, but that's mostly Sullivan, who's 3 for 3. You've got Boone, that's 2 for 5, but Mason Baker yet to connect on a 3-ball. Dixie's doing a very good job with their perimeter defense.
Baker was 24 of 55 from beyond the arc coming into tonight. Has not made one yet. He'll probably make his next one now that we said that. Nichols fouled, an aggressive move to the bucket, and they'll say it was on the ground. The foul will go against Michael Glenn, and that'll be his 4th. So we got a little bit of a foul trouble situation for Mines. Glenn with 4, Sullivan with 2. Sullivan with 3. Pagankoff to trigger baseline left. Bounces into Jacob Nichols. Nichols has the dribble still. He'll put it on the floor. Looking for help. Gets to Chatwin. Fires a 3. Short off the left side. And the rebound to Mines. And now a whistle and a foul away from the ball. Andre Wilson got tangled up with Kobe Betts. They're kind of going at each other. But Andre Wilson got the last bit of contact in there. He'll get whistled for a foul.
They were trying to post Andre up a little bit, and he's doing a good job of keeping him behind it or in front of him. But that's just not a foul you want to pick up now. But Dixie gone to a zone. Andre's playing on the bottom side. He's got a shooter in the corner. He's got to be careful.
3 on the way. No. The rebound is tapped out of bounds by Dason Youngblood. And that ball, it fell right into his hands. Only 6 seconds on the shot clock. It was missed so badly that it hit Dason right in the hands. He just wasn't ready for it. He was anticipating the bounce. Inbound pass. Here we go. Betts in the paint. Fires, scores.
Yeah, 6 seconds on the shot clock. You can't let that happen. And that was 1 or 2 dribbles and a shot at the top. There must have been a miscommunication or something happened on that possession defensively.
Youngblood to Pagankoff. Jack to the free throw line. Wrap around pass to Wilson, right wing. Bounce it inside. Chatwin double teamed to Nichols. Pump fake from the right wing. Drives inside, and he's fouled before he released the shot, but it will be free throws on a 1-and-1, and that will bring us to the media. 11:52 to go. Dixie State a 48-44 lead, and we'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Everybody loves the kiss cam, right?
Yeah.
My wife was here a couple of weeks. She's probably watching right now. I'm gonna be in trouble. But a couple of weeks ago, she was here at the game, and they put that on, and I threw the headset down and ran a couple rows up and sat next to her, and they never put us on camera. So,
hint.
Nichols drains the first free throw. He's had a good game tonight.
Yeah, solid game. He's. You hate to see guys not play. I mean, you've got a guy, Josh Newbold, who was in the starting lineup and just hasn't had the minutes. But guys like Jacob Nichols has stepped up and he's filled those minutes. And he stepped into that role very nice. He plays very hard.
Of course, he missed the free throw after I talked about how good of a game. Now we've got that broadcaster jinx out of the way, and we'll be good. 49-44, Dixie State a 5-point lead. 11:34 to go. Betts crossing over to the left. It's around Paganikoff, stops, will fire a deep two, and he hits it with 1 second on the shot clock.
Wow, he was off balance, 1 second on the shot clock. That was a big shot there, cutting the lead, Dixie lead to 3.
Wilson is bumped and fouled by Betts, out beyond the arc. And that'll be the first foul of the night against Kobe Betts. He's got 9 big points, averaging just 5.7 points per game. He got 9 tonight.
One thing I'd add here, Kerry, we've got a pretty good crowd here tonight. A good crowd, there's a wide out. I love to see this crowd get going. Colorado School of Mines, they average about 280 in their attendance. So, Dixie averaging about 1,800. This is a different environment for Colorado School of Mines. I'd love to see this crowd pick up and give Dixie some energy. We really need some energy. We need somebody to step up and get this crowd going, and Jack Pagankoff or somebody, big play to get this crowd on their feet, because they could be the X factor late.
Andre Wilson makes the first free throw, and then they decide they need to mop something off the floor, and then the mop boy was nowhere to be found. So the official went and grabbed the mop and is pulling double duty tonight. Andre had to think about the next free throw through that whole time, and he missed it, rimmed out.
Need to stop.
Did it really have to be mopped right then?
Yeah. Big stop here for Dixie State.
50-46, Dixie State a 4-point lead. Hunter Schofield up off the bench. He'll check in on the next whistle. Betts to Reed. Reed to Betts. 7 to shoot. Betts, open look, 3, missed it badly. Ball is loose. Chatwin the rebound. Paganikoff to the right side of Wilson for 3. No, missed it. And the rebound to Baker. He hit a couple big shots like that last night, not able to get one to go tonight. Boone to Betts. Baker to Reed, baseline right side, and he stepped out of bounds. Dixie's forced him out of bounds. And Hunter Schofield will check back in. 10:15 to go. Trailblazers a 50-46 lead.
We talked about consecutive stops. That's 3 consecutive stops for Dixie State. The hot hand for Colorado School of Mines right now is Kobe Betts. He's 3 for his last 4. So he's the guy they're looking to get their offense through. For Dixie State, it's time for them to get a bucket. They are 1 for their last 7.
Nichols hands off to Youngblood. Dason sees his seam, penetrates, kicks to the corner. Andre Wilson for 3, he splashes it home in the left corner. Another Mountain America 3 ball.
Big shot there by Andre Wilson. Dixie State coming back. And that's what we're talking about, energy right now. That's a big 3. Forces Colorado School of Mines to call a timeout. This is where the momentum needs to shift a little bit.
Get another look at it. Youngblood, the penetration inside, sucking the defenders in, kicking to the corner. Wilson knocks in the 3. And it's going to be a full timeout, 9:49 to go. Dixie State a 53-46 advantage. Let's take a 30-second timeout, just a 30. Come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
9:49 to go. Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Carrick Segmiller, Mike Olson with you on your home for Trailblazer Athletics at CEC TV. And it's the Dixie State Stretch Internet Portal. Trailblazers a 53-46 advantage after an Andre Wilson three-pointer from the left corner. 15 to shoot for the Orediggers. Here's Boone with 8 to shoot. Crosses over, gets to the baseline, up and under. Lays it in with the left hand. And a turnover. They throw it right to Mines. Here's Baker. Tipped and taken right back away. Boy, oh boy. Wilson brings the ball up. Gives it Schofield into the left corner. Stain for three. Missed it. A good look. Couldn't get it to go. Nichols had the offensive rebound initially, knocked out of his hands. Here come the Orediggers.
Frank Stain yet to score. His freshman still scoreless. It's time for him to get going.
8:50 remaining. Dixie State a 5-point lead. Into the corner. Sullivan just checked back in. Fires a three and missed it. Threw himself to the floor after. Didn't get the call. And here comes Dixie State. Wilson trying to bounce it inside at Schofield and off of his fingertips and out of bounds. A turnover.
He could have scored that. I think he had that all mapped out in his head before he went. He drove to the middle thinking that the defense is going to fall him and he'll dump that off to his big guy. But he could have laid that in with his left hand.
8:25 remaining. Dixie State a 5-point lead. 53-48. Here's Baker. Step back three, left wing. Bang. Uh-oh. There's his first three-point make of the night. And as soon as you see one go through, and Dixie State turns it over. But Youngblood is steal the other way. My goodness. Dason into the lane. Can't get it to go, but free throws coming. It's a circus in here.
Well, it was funny because Dixie was complaining. The Dixie bench saw a kick. You can see, and then the next play down, Dason Youngblood got a kick. So I guess it all works out.
All is fair, right?
It all comes out.
It all evens out. Dixie State a 53-51 lead. 7:56 to go. We go to the media. 1 minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
All right, man, I need you to go deep.
All right, I'll catch this one, I promise. Post route, back of the end zone.
Got it, let's do it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
(53-51) Dixie State. A 2-point lead with 7:56 remaining. And I believe Dason Youngblood will be at the free throw line out of the timeout, depending on. And they are going to say he was in the act of shooting. 2 free throws coming. On a 9-3 foul discrepancy in favor of Dixie State. So that's something to keep an eye on as well, as those things have a way of evening themselves out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Youngblood will miss the first free throw, left it short.
Last 2 minutes, Dixie's yet to hit a field goal. And a lot of it, they've had good shots, just unable to connect.
Makes the second free throw. 7 points for Dason Youngblood. And Jack Pagankoff will check back in. And he's been the leader tonight for Dixie State. They rested him, and they're bringing him in for the stretch run.
Dixie going back to their 2-3 zone, trying to slow the Orediggers down a little bit.
Baker to the left corner, Sullivan. Sullivan to the top of the key. There's Boone. Betts, deep 2, right wing, no. Tapped around, Schofield had it, lost it. Staines got it now. Hand off to Pagankoff. Chance to extend this 3-point lead. Jack to Jared Green, up and in.
That was a good dish, you know. Jared Green playing with 3 fouls that time, you know, catching the ball at his waist while he was in the air and still had the athleticism to get that up and in for a much-needed point in the paint for Dixie State.
56-51, a 5-point Dixie State lead. Boone gets between 2 defenders, and they're going to call a foul against Andre Wilson. And that's number 4 against Andre. Dason Youngblood up off the bench for Wilson.
You know, and that time you hear Andre coming off saying, you know, I just didn't dare leaving one. Mason Baker, you know, he didn't want to leave him alone. He's a little bit slow on the rotation. He got whistled for the foul. He's not coming out because he fouled. He's coming out because it was his 4th, and they're going to need him late in the game.
Baker to Sullivan, into the corner, Glenn. Glenn bounces into Betts. He'll get past Green, lays it up, missed it, rimmed out. A good look for Betts, but he put too much juice on it. Dixie State has the rebound. Got to take advantage here. Schofield driving inside, up and in. Hunter Schofield with 13, and Dixie State a 7-point lead.
Very strong move right there by Hunter Schofield. Strong dribble, great finish.
And a timeout called by Colorado School of Mines. Now it's Coach Orser's turn to be frustrated with his guys. 6:26 remaining. Dixie State a 7-point lead, 58-51. Timeout's brought to you by Dairy Queen. Man, things quieted down in here in a hurry.
We need some energy. You know, I'm about to put this headset down and go out and get the crowd going. I mean, we're going on a run. We need people on their feet. We need defense chance. We need this crowd behind this team because they're playing hard. You know, Dixie's done a great job to maintain the lead. I think the last time they gave up a lead was 34-33. They've done a good job. We just need some energy in here.
Trailblazers a 58-51 lead. Dixie State has scored the last 5 to create a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of separation, but they're not done yet. They want to continue to extend this thing.
Well, 7 points is nothing when you've got Mason Baker who just hit another 3.
Well, and Brendan Sullivan's hit 3 threes. Ben Boone has hit a couple of threes.
The hot hand right now is Betts. Betts is the guy that they're going to. And where Mason Baker hit his shot, it's because they were so focused on Kobe Betts that they lost sight of Mason Baker.
They'll lob it all the way down the floor to Baker, and he comes across the timeline. Baker steps into a 3, missed it off the left side. Offensive rebound, Glenn kicks it back out. Boone will try a 3 from the left wing. He misses, and Frank Stain gets a big rebound. Here's Jack. Hesitates, carried the ball.
That was a good call.
Yeah, he hesitated, wanted to think about where he was going to make his move, and then carried the ball as he went in.
You know, he got a second night in a row. He's got a delayed game. A little bit frustrated. You can see he keeps the ball right there on his hip, takes a step, and then goes with the dribble. That hesitation's okay. You just can't keep the ball on your hip while you're doing it.
58-51. Dixie State a 7-point advantage. Inside Sullivan, spinning, floats, scores.
That's a play that they drew up in that timeout last time. They're looking to isolate Frank Stain right there in the post.
Stain inside Schofield, catch and shoot, 10-footer, yes.
Another great move there by Hunter Schofield for Dixie. It's the 7-point lead, 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. They don't have to be so quick to shoot. That's a good percentage shot right there, but time and possession is big.
Clock rolling, 5:20 remaining. Boone, wide open 3. He missed it, shot it over the hoop, and a foul going for the rebound against Frank Stain. His second, and you knew that there were some fouls coming on the foul discrepancy.
Stain comes out 0 for 3, 0 for 1 from the three-point line. He does have 4 rebounds, played 24 minutes. He's done some good things defensively, but yet to score.
Pass into Sullivan. He'll swing it to Baker. He'll drive inside, gets Jared Green off his feet, and then scores from 8 feet away. 12 points for Mason Baker. 60-55, Dixie State by 5. Paganikoff to Schofield. Backdoor cut, Jared Green, shot is blocked, tries to pull it back down, he gets it, tried to create space, and he traveled. He went up with, he's trying to draw the foul, he went up with it,
great
and
pass.
then came back down with it.
Hunter Schofield had a great pass inside of Jared Green. He was just surrounded by guys. You see him down there. There's 3 of them around. They're all slapping at the ball, trying to get a good power dribble. He got up and got tipped, and he got called for travel.
Into the corner, Sullivan for a 3, his 4th of the night, and it's a 2-point game. Sullivan with 14, and Dixie State will take a timeout with 4:35 remaining. 60-58, Dixie State a 2-point lead. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we keep it right here. Timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. But again, another wide open look.
When you look at the shooting percentage right now, Carlisle School Mines, they're still shooting in the 30s. We thought that would be key. We want them to shoot in the 30s. Dixie State, I mean, they're shooting 43%, 43% from the three-point line. But that time right there, Mason Baker doing what he does best. He's just smart. He manufactures shots. He knows his 3-ball hasn't been on. He took that shot fake, little dribble for a pull-up. They're a smart team. It's all about defense here for Dixie. You know, they've got a 2-point lead. 4 minutes to go. We talk about those 4-minute battles. It's going to come down to the last 4-minute battle of this game.
Here we go, 60-58. Dixie State a 2-point lead. 4:35 to go. Every possession is like gold. Can't imagine or can't afford to go empty. Paganikoff steps up. 3 straight away, and he hits it. 22 points for Jack Paganikoff. And it's a 5-point lead again. Another Mountain America Credit Union 3-ball.
This is where we need the energy. This is where we need the stop. This is where we need the crowd to get up and get going.
Glenn to Boone. He'll drive inside, knocked out of his hands from behind by Andre Wilson. 4:04 remaining. Nichols will check in. Jared Green will come out.
Good minutes there by Jared Green. He's done a good job defensively contesting the rim. Offensively doing a good job of making a strong post presence.
Boone has it in the left corner, and he throws it away, stolen by Paganikoff. Pass ahead to Youngblood. Coach is screaming at them to slow up.
Time and possession here. Just back it out and be patient for a good shot or a foul.
Paganikoff to Wilson, to Youngblood. Up and under, yes! Reverse layup for Dason Youngblood and a 7-point Dixie State lead.
Yeah, there we go, there's Dason Youngblood again. You know, when needed a basket, Dason Youngblood stepped up. That's a big basket there for Dixie to extend the lead to 7.
65-58, 7-point lead, and Youngblood has 9 of those points. 3:22 to go. Schofield the tip, but it still gets to Sullivan, and then Hunter will foul Sullivan on his way to the bucket. That'll be Schofield's first foul of the night, so no harm done there, but you're sending a 75% free throw shooter to the line. 3:19 to go, Dixie State by 7, a 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms.
This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Amesia is all the safe brushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Turn, please. Right. Sodium carbonate.
Well, strap on your seatbelts. Here we go. We talk about the 4-minute battles. We are into the last 4-minute battle. 3:19 to go. Dixie State a 7-point lead, 65-58. And Brendan Sullivan at the line for the Ore Diggers, a 75% free throw shooter.
Yeah, these free throws are big. You know, offensively, make or miss. This next possession offensively for Dixie is big. And you know, I think Coach Judkins is going to need another expo marker, as much drawing he did on that board during the timeout. You know, he put something in, he scripted something, he's got his team ready offensively.
Sullivan will miss the free throw. School not back yet in session, but there's a decent contingent of students over there, and they've got the cardboard cutouts. Second one on the way, and he makes it. 15 points for Sullivan. 6-point Dixie State lead, 65-59. Wilson to Nichols. Nichols tried to cross over to his left, and he's fouled by Sullivan. And that's his fourth.
More importantly, it's a 10th team foul on the line. So, you know, it's 2 free throws from here on out for Dixie State. You know, Jacob Nichols goes to the line here for 2 huge free throws.
The vintage at Canyonlands free throw line. First one is up and in. Jacob Nichols, 7 points off the bench tonight. Career high is 8 against Alaska Fairbanks up in Salt Lake City. In November, the second free throw rolls around and falls through. He's matched his career high.
He stops here.
Here we go, 67-59. Chance of defense starting to rain down. They're trying to get some energy in here. You could start handing out Red Bull at halftime or something. Betts inside, he'll lay it up and in.
Again, you know, Betts, he's having a great game.
Andre Wilson to answer. Offensive foul against Andre Wilson, and that is his 5th.
You know, Andre a little frustrated with the call, wondering where it came from, but you can see, you know, as he comes down here, watch that offhand, the tape hand, he kind of pushes off. You can see him extend that left hand to create some space, and got whistled for a call.
67-61. Even need more energy in those Boo Birds. They're a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Let's go. 67-61. At least they're making some noise, though. Baker is fouled by Nichols. And that'll be 1-1 for Mason Baker. 89% free throw shooter. He's 3 for 4 from the stripe tonight.
I'm not a guy you want to see at the free throw line. You know, their leader, their scorer, he's a great shooter. You know, with a 6-point lead, not a guy you want to foul.
First one on the way, up and in. 13 points for Baker. 5-point Dixie State lead, 67-62.
With Ore Diggers' big guys back, they may try a little press right here, full court. Try to extend a little pressure.
And they actually back off, and those Trailblazers kind of walk it up. 2:18 to go. Schofield will force it up, and he's fouled. He's lucky he got the foul with a lot of time on the shot clock. You keep saying knowing your time and possession, but he saw a seam.
Take it.
And he got inside, and he was fouled.
Well, you can't stop being aggressive. You know, a lot of times teams will be too soft at the end of the game and try to hold on to the ball too long. You still want to be very aggressive and attack, especially when you can stand up and knock some free throws.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable out there right now. Much different than last night. It looked just super uncomfortable with the line last night. And like Coach Judkins said in the postgame, just overthinking it too much. Tonight, just standing up there. And, of course, I jinxed him. He misses the second one with 16 points for Hunter. And a 5-point Dixie State lead at 68-63. 2:05 remaining. Baker inside, and he's denied by Hunter Schofield. And Hunter may need a little bit of a breather after that one. It's a mid-air collision, but a good move by Hunter.
Well, that's what you want from your big guy, right? Your big guy, when your big guy's able to slide in and contest the rim right there, that's exactly what you want him to do.
68-63. Dixie State coaches were, as they pass it to Sullivan, a three from the left corner, no. Pagankoff the rebound. Dixie State coaches were asking the referees to look at that last play and say, hey, Baker brought the knee way up high into Schofield. But they couldn't get him to do it. They looked at 3 or 4 plays in the first half. Couldn't get him to look at that one. Dixie State coaches saying, hey, you owe us one. After we got called for a flagrant in the first half. Pagankoff loses, tipped away, ball is loose, able to be chased down by Dason Youngblood. Fires up a half-court shot, no, as the shot clock was expiring, and the rebound at Colorado School of Mines.
So he did his job. The ball hit the rim, so the shot clock would have reset and had a chance for a rebound.
Betts into the lane the other way, 1:09 to play, and it's a 5-point lead. Betts is fouled by Dason Youngblood.
You talked to Carrick about the foul count evening up. That's the 9th foul on Dixie. Late in the game, Colorado School of Mines has done a very good job of drawing fouls and evening that foul count. And it's exactly what you want to do. When you're behind, you want to score with the clock stopped. And they've done a good job of going to the free throw line tonight.
This will be a 2-shot foul for Betts. He makes the first free throw, a 67% free throw shooter. Betts has 12.
Free throws tonight, even. Colorado School of Mines, 11 for 16. Dixie State, 12 for 16.
That's the second free throw up and in. He makes both free throws. He's got 13. And it's a 3-point lead. Dixie State wants a timeout. 59.9 seconds remaining. And a huge possession for the Trailblazers. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. Go stand up in the crowd, Mike. Maybe you get a free T-shirt.
There we go. With 59 seconds, you got 25 seconds on the shot clock. Dixie's ball. The last possession, they were in a man-to-man, or Diggers, man-to-man. So Dixie's going to look for a good shot. But Coach Judkins is going to talk to them about crashing the boards. You're looking at the time here. If you have to take a shot. You got a 3-point lead. It's important that you get a good shot or a foul, but then you have to get one stop. You've got to get the next stop. Make or miss, you've got to get a stop defensively. So he's going to talk to us. He's going to drop an offensive play, but he's also going to hone them in defensively and make sure they understand everybody's on the same page, who's guarding who and what they're doing defensively.
Well, that timeout was planned. You saw all 3 coaches kind of huddled together as the free throws were being shot on the other end, and they were drawing up what they wanted to, discussing what they wanted to do, and now they hash it out during the timeout. Dixie State would love a bucket here to make it a 2-possession game. Here's Parker with 15 on the shot clock. Hands off to Pagankoff. Jack slices inside, dribbles back to the corner. Drives the baseline. Whips it to Youngblood, and an offensive foul.
I'll tell you what, defensively, Ordiggers did a good job of keeping Dixie out of their stuff. They wanted to weave at the top, and they were disrupting that and not letting them reverse it. But you can see Jack Pagankoff, he went baseline looking for that drift pass to Dason Youngblood and jumped to pass. And Carrick, that's tough. When you jump to pass, you lose all your momentum going forward, and you can't stop it. And that time led to an offensive foul.
Here we go, 35 seconds remaining. Now some noise coming down from the Burns Arena seats. Chance of defense. 24 seconds remaining, down to 10 on the shot clock. Betts for 3, right wing. He hits it. We're tied at 68. 19.3 seconds remaining. He's got the hot hand, and it continues. My, oh my. And they're actually going to look at it to see, to see if he was behind the line. 68-68. as it is now. From here, it looked like he was behind the line, but we'll see what they can see on the review. But Dixie State, an opportunity, never got a shot up offensively, and then we're not able to get the stop defensively, and we can see it right there. It's pretty clear cut. It will be a three-point shot, and maybe they're looking to make sure no extra time came off as well. But the Trailblazers and Orediggers are tied at 68. Dixie State will have one opportunity to try to win this thing, try to wind it down and win it, and we'll see what happens.
Well, 19.3 seconds, the shot clock is off. You're going to take the last shot. You're not going to leave any time on the clock. You miss it, you go to overtime, you make it, you win the game. So Dixie will hold on the last, looks like they put another second on the clock.
They did, 20.4.
20.4 remaining. Coach Judkins will draw up a play. They'll look to use every bit of that 20.4, looking for a shot, and hopefully a putback. They'll probably shoot it with about 6 seconds on the clock, give them a chance for an offensive rebound putback if they need it.
Here we go. Dixie State an opportunity to win it, or perhaps we go to overtime. Pagankoff across the timeline. Down to 10 and 9. Pagankoff to his right. Now it seems like it's a broken play. Pagankoff with 4, with 3, for 3. No, off the right side. Schofield has it for the win. Is he fouled? No, they're not going to call a foul. And we're going to overtime. 68-68. It was a highly contested look for Schofield from the corner. It looked to be straight up. We'll get another look at it here. And it was good defense by Boone, straight up. And we go to the extra session, 68-68. Let's take a 30-second timeout. Come back with the overtime on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I got you right where I want you. I make this one, it's over. I win.
No pressure. Bring it.
We may not always play good, but when we want to look good, we come to the Dixie State campus store.
Located on the second floor of the Gardner Center. We'll see you there.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. The Trailblazers have played 2 overtime games this season. An overtime win against UT Tyler in Salt Lake City. And in that comeback win at New Mexico Highlands, they win 109-108 in the extra session. They're 2-0 in overtime, but you hate to see it go to the extra session at home.
Yeah, and momentum is key here.
Especially when you had the lead.
Yeah, you got the lead, and Orediggers have come. They've taken that momentum away from Dixie. They forced overtime. Now this next 5 minutes, it's important to get that momentum back very early. They got to forget the end of the game and just focus on the next 5 minutes.
Dixie State will win the opening tap. And here we go into the overtime session for the 3rd time this season for Dixie State. Pagankoff holding right wing, bounces to Schofield, gets into the lane and scores it. Hunter Schofield's got 18, and Dixie State is 70-68 win. They strike first in the extra session.
When you need a bucket, that's where you go. Go into the post and get it to your leading scorer out there, Hunter Schofield.
Sullivan, and they're going to call a foul. Against Nichols. Trying to fight through a screen. His 3rd.
Throughout the game, Dixie's been going underneath every one of those screens. And that time you can see this screen here, this fight. Nichols trying to get.
I guess the arm got him in the face, fighting through. He didn't go under though, is what you're saying. I cut you off, I'm sorry.
They'll push him up and he's slide underneath that screen, make it easy. That time trying to fight through. Fighting through that screen that far away from the basket doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
They're not going to hurt you that far away. Should have gone underneath and make that, or maybe even switch it.
Makes the first free throw, does Boone. Couple of changes. Stain is back in, and Cameron Chatwin is in for Dixie State. You'd love to see Frank Stain just catch fire here in the overtime period. Boone will make both free throws. We're tied at 70.
This is big. Big possession here for Dixie. Get things going.
Paganikoff to Youngblood. Back to Jack. Catch and shoot. Fadeaway three. Left wing. It's short. Rebound. Colorado School of Mines. It's O'Leary.
Defensively, Dixie back to their man-to-man here. Trying to match up. Got to keep an eye on Kobe Betts.
Youngblood nearly had a steal on the end line. He loses it. 13 to shoot. 3:55 remaining.
Orediggers bringing another shooter into the game with Michael Glenn coming in for the Orediggers. You got to keep it. All 5 guys on the floor can shoot it.
Three from the right wing. It's good, and a foul. Sullivan hits it, and Chatwin fouled him. And an opportunity at a 4-point play.
Now that's just kind of a mental lapse right there. You want to extend. You want to be contesting, but that's a deep shot. Cameron Chatwin left his feet and kind of turned his hips, so he lost control, and Sullivan made him pay for it.
And Sullivan will have the free throw to try to make it a 4-point game on the way, and he hits it. That is huge, massive. Dixie State needs to respond with 3:45 remaining, down 4 in the overtime session. Schofield at the left elbow, jab step, gets inside. It's stripped, no, he's fouled. And if that's against Sullivan, it's not, it's O'Leary. You would have loved to see that go against Sullivan. That would have been his 5th. Instead, it's against O'Leary, and it's his 4th. You saw Sullivan immediately pointing over at his teammate, and you don't always see that.
Yeah.
But Sullivan knew if it was against him, he was out. Schofield, free throw, yes. He's got 19. 74-71. 3:38 to go. Schofield, second free throw, yes. He's got 20. Second Trailblazer to get past the 20-point mark. Paganikoff has 22. 74-72. Dixie State trails by 2. Boone, left wing. A whistle and a foul is going to go against Frank Stade.
It's 2 free throws. You know, you can see the body language of Frank Stade. He's frustrated. He's trying to get around. He's fighting around, and again, that far away from the basket, it's okay. Don't fall for the bait.
Cheeky little play by Sullivan.
They're smart. They know how to get to the free throw line. They know how to draw fouls. You just can't fall for that bait. Let him catch it 17 feet from the basket. There was so much congestion right there. They weren't even looking to get him the ball. So it just got to be smart defensively.
Sullivan makes both free throws, and it's a 4-point lead again. And he's got 21. 3:20 remaining. Paganikoff crossing over to the left, gets inside, throws up a shot, was looking for contact, falls to the floor. It's an air ball, and Colorado School of Mines has the rebound. Absolutely have to have a stop here now.
Yeah, it's all about that momentum right now. Mason Baker's got the ball at the top, orchestrating things. They know exactly what they want to try to do.
Baker holding left wing. Gets inside, kills the dribble to Betts with 5 to shoot, and he traveled.
They got their stop. That's exactly what they needed. Kobe Betts trying to get to the center of the key right there to dump down to O'Leary, but it wasn't there. So Dixie State with a chance here to cut into this 4-point lead.
And Betts cramping up a little bit. The trainer will come out for Mines and
it's a free timeout.
Help him out. Dixie State will take the free timeout. Talk things over. 2:44 remaining. Trailblazers trailing by 4, 76-72. He's going to stretch both the legs out a little bit. Imagine the trainer has to come out. Betts has to leave the game, right?
Yeah. It's key here. Down 4. You still got plenty of time. 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go. No need to panic. 4-point lead's nothing with 2:44 to go. So It's just all about patience here for Dixie State and give up a good shot for a better shot. You don't need to rush anything. You don't need to be in a hurry, but just get a good, solid possession here. You've got Hunter Schofield, Cameron Chatwin inside, Frank Stain on the wing. Plenty of great options. Dason Youngblood and Jack Pagenkopf.
2:40 to go. Dixie State trailing by 4. Need a bucket. Youngblood on the right wing, gets inside, leaves for Schofield, fumbles it, regains, got to put a shot up. No, but he's fouled. And he's lucky he didn't get nailed for 3 seconds.
That's a great offensive set there for Dixie State with Hunter Schofield going to set the first screen. He slips it, and Cameron Chatwin was there to set the second one. Both guys rolling. Good movement there by Dixie State. That's a great possession. It puts Hunter Schofield at the line tonight for his 5 for 6 tonight. Done a good job of knocking down his free throws.
First one, yes. 21 points for Hunter Schofield, and he's got all 5 points for Dixie State in the overtime period. Trying to make this a 2-point game. Up and in. 22 points for Hunter Schofield. Now you need another stop. Trailing by 2, 76-74. There's Reed. Holding on the left wing, Sullivan. Gets past Stain. Tries to pass inside. It's tipped. Ball is loose. Dixie State can't get it. It's taken back away. And here's Colorado School of Mines. Shot clock down to 8. Here's Baker. He gets inside. Tries to throw a pass, and it's tipped, taken away. And then Pagenkopf is fouled. And Coach Judkins is loving it.
He's doing everything he can to get some energy going. Get his guys some confidence. He got the stop that they needed. Now they have a chance to go and tie it up and steal that momentum back. Looks like the Orediggers are talking to the officials about something, wanting clarification on maybe who got fouled. You know, Coach Judkins is wondering why are they icing our shooter? I mean, we can't. You can't go and talk to him for that long. You give him a quick explanation and go from there. But again, it gives Coach Judkins the time to set some things up. Jack Pagenkopf going to the line for 2.
And right now they have the foul against Michael Glenn. Did somebody? The refs are still talking about it.
Well, that's Glenn's 5th, if so. So maybe what they're arguing is you called the foul on the wrong guy. You know, they're doing everything they can to keep Glenn in the ball game. It looks like the foul is.
It's clearly right there.
Not something that you can go and review, I believe. You can't review who the foul is on. So
it's not the NBA. You can't challenge the foul call.
No, if you look at it right now.
I mean, the only one around Jack Pagenkopf is Michael Glenn.
Yeah.
So and I will say there wasn't a ton of contact.
No.
So, but
officials are going to look at the play before that.
I'm wondering if they're looking at whether, I mean, if it's the play before that, how far back can they go in terms of changing anything?
Yeah, if that's the case, there was a flagrant foul we'd like to go and review with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
I mean, one thought that I had, and I don't know if this really would change much at this point, is did Dixie State have full possession after the scramble and then it was knocked out of their hands? Should the shot clock have reset? When Dixie State got it, it never did.
Yeah, good point.
So, but at this point, I mean, that's 2 plays ago.
Yeah.
So how far back can you go and what can you actually do about that?
Well, they're going back a few plays and they don't, you know, they're asking the guys in the truck to keep going back, looking, maybe they're looking at time, maybe a shot clock violation. Not quite sure what it is they're looking for. If they're
trying to see if a player was, oh my goodness. They're looking at Cameron Chatwin possibly tripping Sullivan.
But then again, I mean, that was,
I mean, how, wow, that would be huge. This would be huge.
Well, nothing there to me indicates a flagrant foul. I mean, that's just two players getting tangled up and one falling down. There wasn't anything.
And that would be the second against
Cameron Chatwin.
Cameron Chatwin. He'd be done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, there's no possession of the ball. The ball's loose. Nobody's got possession. You don't see any kind of.
And Cam's just turning. He's just trying to get away from the play.
Yeah, there's.
I mean, this is huge. You got possibly Jack Paganikoff going down to shoot free throws, and now they're looking at a play that was 15 seconds ago. Of course, there was no chance to look at it. There was no stoppage in play. So we've seen that done before. It's not like there was a stoppage in play, and now they're going back and,
That's big.
And looking at it. This is huge. That's a two-shot foul. Of course, Dixie State would still get to shoot.
Well, the way they're talking about it, Kerry, I hate to cut you off, but I believe they're going to call this.
And they're going to the coaches.
Against Dixie State.
No flagrant, they say. They're not going to call the flagrant foul.
Well, O'Leary will check in for Glenn, who's fouled out. So, that's gives him 4 shooters. O'Leary's not going to be a threat from deep, but with the 2-point lead here, these are big free throws for Jack Paganikoff.
If anything, if you're Coach Orser, you succeeded in about a 5-minute delay to make Jack Paganikoff think about these free throws.
Yeah, it's true.
Talk about icing somebody. And he makes the first. No big deal.
No big deal. Jack's a great leader. He's a gamer. He comes to play every night. He knows what's at stake. And
now he's going to have to think about the second free throw for longer.
Maybe a sub. They're probably talking about when did O'Leary check into the game. It should be after the first free throw. But, hey, again, it gives Coach Judkins a chance to set some things up. But yeah, so they charged the Orediggers with a timeout there.
And he missed the second free throw. 75-76.
I guess in a 1-point game, you trade a timeout for 1 point.
Sullivan off the dribble, steps up, floater, yes. 3-point, Colorado School of Mines lead, 78-75, 1:35 remaining. Here's Chatwin to the left side. Youngblood will drive inside, high off the window and in. What a shot by Dason Youngblood, the third Trailblazer in double figures, a 1-point game again. 78-77, 1:22 to go.
Getting another stop right here with 1:20 to go. They've got to put together 2 stops.
Here's Boone. To the right side, shot clock winding down to 7. Boone fumbles. Regains, ball is loose. Chatwin's got it and whips it to Schofield. Under a minute to go. Dixie State can take the lead here. Paganikoff to Schofield, puts the ball on the floor, spinning, floating, scoring! Dixie State leads! Schofield with 24. Timeout, Colorado School of Mines. Let the sound tell the story for a minute. It's going to be a full timeout, 49.6 seconds remaining. Dixie State a 79-78 lead. Let's keep it right here so we don't miss a second of the action. Can't ask for more fun than this.
No.
I guess if we had our wishes, Dixie State would have won in regulation. This place would be almost empty by now. But fun for the fans and a great crowd on a night where, again, the students still aren't back in session. There are a few students here, but not nearly as many as there will be in a couple of weeks when Colorado Christian and Regis are in town. But this St. George community has risen up, and we've got a big crowd, and they have got to be loud.
Yeah.
What a huge sequence of events. Big shot from Dason Youngblood, even bigger shot by Hunter Schofield.
Well, and you look at who's on the floor for the Ore Diggers. You've got Baker, Sullivan, Boone, O'Leary, and Reed. So Betts has not been in the game since his cramp. But I believe he just did check in. Looks like Betts is in the game now.
Betts is back in. Colorado School of Mines has to go the length of the floor.
49 on the game clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock, so got to get a stop. Dixie gets a stop, the shot clock will be off.
Here we go. Dixie State showing pressure on the way up the floor. Baker across the timeline. It's a 1-point Dixie State lead. Baker holding. Plenty of time for a shot. 18 to shoot. Sullivan spinning in the lane, kicks to the corner. Baker, step back, leans in, finds Sullivan. Floater, no. Dixie State the rebound. Here's Youngblood. Bounces back to Schofield. Across the court to Pagankoff. Got it to get across the timeline. They get it, and a timeout is granted to Coach Judkins as the ball was literally crossing the timeline, and there was nobody around the Dixie State player who caught the ball. He could have burned probably another 5 or 6 seconds, but Dixie State will take the timeout with 20.6 seconds remaining.
Big stop by Dixie. You saw the ball bouncing around, loose ball. Came up with a huge stop, but then they had the presence of mind not to turn it over. You don't want to panic. You know, Colorado School of Mines did not opt to foul. They wanted to play and see if they could get a timeline call and get the ball back. That didn't happen. Coach Judkins called the timeout and sets up 20 seconds with a 1-point lead.
Find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way. 20.6 seconds remaining. Well, Trailblazers trying to get done what they couldn't in regulation.
Well, given the personnel that's on the floor for Colorado School of Mines and Dixie State, I'd be shocked if they did not go to Hunter Schofield right here. You know, given what happened on that last play, when they needed a bucket to go up one, they went right into Hunter Schofield, who went to work. So I'd be shocked to see if they don't go into big number 44 with 24 points, leading the Trailblazers tonight.
20.6 seconds remaining. It'll be Dason Youngblood to inbound directly across from us. Youngblood, entry past the Stain, back to Dason with 18, and he's fouled.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Jack Pagankoff. You know, he leads the team in free throw percentage, and Ore Diggers knew it. They weren't going to let Jack get it, but hey, I'm just fine sending Dason Youngblood to the free throw line tonight.
Paper says he's 52% from the line on the season.
1 for 2 tonight.
First one, no, left it short. 79-78, 18 seconds remaining.
So here defensively, you've got to be ready. You've got to keep the ball out of Mason Baker's hands. You cannot let him make a play on the other end with 18 seconds.
Youngblood will have one more. On the way, missed it, and Mines the rebound. 16.5 remaining. Comes down to this. Baker, free throw line, inside. Boone, layup, good. 5 seconds remaining. Pagankoff down the court with 3, with 2, with 1 to Youngblood for the win. No! And Dixie State is lost at home for the first time this season. (80-79) in overtime. Dixie State falls at home for the first time this year, and Colorado School of Mines can celebrate running off the Burns Arena floor.
That's a tough one. You know, that's a tough one. You know, I look at Coach May right here in front of us, standing here in front of us. Before they got the ball, I watched him tell all 5 players, watch the shot fake. Don't fall for the shot fake. And that's what got them.
Yep.
You know, they left their feet, and Gave up a game winner. Tough loss.
Yeah, you'd rather give up a foul than a shot fake and at least, take your chances at the free throw line. And Mason Youngblood probably going to feel a little bit bad going in there, missing a couple of free throws, but you can't put it all on that. I mean, Dixie State should have wrapped this one up in regulation.
Oh,
I mean, there's no question about it, and that's what hurts about an overtime loss like that. You fight back and you win, or you fight back and you tie the game and you lose in overtime. That's one thing, but to lose the lead and then lose in overtime, there's not much worse than that. And credit Colorado School of Mines for making the plays when they needed to. You had Kobe Betts tonight, averaging 5.7 points per game, and he scores 16 points tonight, and that's the X factor right there. Mason Baker does go for 14. Sullivan goes for 21. Boone for 10. Tough one. You hate to lose at home. Ton of the season still to go, and a very tough trip next week. This one's going to sting.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt.
For a little while.
No question that one's going to hurt. That's a tough way to end it in overtime. But give Colorado School Mines credit. They were grinding the entire game. They never lost their composure. They stuck with their game plan. Even when they got behind, they found a way to come back.
Trailblazers fall to 11-2 overall, 6-1 in the RMAC. And now the thing you're looking at is Dixie State is, after winning first 10, they've lost 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah.
So, and fighting and certainly playing well enough at points tonight to win the ball game. They just weren't able to close it down when they needed to. So the coaches, they'll take this weekend and they'll stew on it over and over and over, and they'll create a game plan. They'll come back to this thing on Monday and say, look, we got to figure something out. Because now we've lost 2 out of 3, and tough one. Hate to lose at home.
Earlier in the broadcast, we mentioned that if Dixie was going to win this game, it needed to be in the 80s. Dang it, it was close.
Almost.
Tough one.
Dixie State falls at home 80-79. And let's step away. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout and then come back with our Guru Sports Grill post-game report.
We may have started out small, but we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or 1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics, because this is our team.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not as they seem.
Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb-driven cattle, be a hero in the strife.
Lives of great men all remind us that our lives can be sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calindris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the best SWAT team. Did a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena and inside the Guru Sports Grill post-game report. Carrick Sagmiller, Mike Olson with you as we give our final thoughts on this one. And one that's going to sting for a while and one that was there for the taking, and Trailblazers kind of let it slip away. Trailblazers falling 80-79 in overtime. First home loss of the season, and you hate to lose on your home floor.
Yeah, that's tough. When they finished the game. Statistically, if you look at it, from the 3-point line, they were 1 for 6 to finish the game. Hunter Schofield himself was 5 for 6. Towards the end of the game, so he did a great job finishing under the rim, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have taken that 3 at the end, but man, that tough way to lose. They had a chance at the end. Jack Pagenkoff had a chance and got a pretty good look, just not able to score.
Take a look at the final stats. Dixie State going to go 44% from the field, 27 of 61, 38% from beyond the arc, 8 of 21, and 17 of 24 from the free throw line, 70% in a 1-point loss. I mean, you're looking at 7 points left on the free throw line. On the flip side, Colorado School of Mines goes 17 of 23, so they leave 6 points at the free throw line as well. So you can't harp on that too much. Dixie State does have a 1 rebound advantage, 39-38. They turned the ball over 16 times. Both teams did, and that's more than Dixie State is ever going to want to turn the ball over. Individually, great performances by Hunter Schofield with 24, Jack Pagenkoff with 23. I mean, he got to 19 in a hurry.
Yeah.
And then, slowed up, and they were kind of resting him for the stretch run because he played a ton of minutes.
Yeah, 42 minutes tonight.
In the first half and in the first part of the second half. And, there just some times where the Trailblazers turned the ball. It was when he was on the bench, they just were not – there wasn't anybody out there tonight that could command the point guard position like Jack Pagenkoff can. And that was one thing. You're going to look at one of your top scorers and your freshman Frank Stain at going scoreless and only 3 shot attempts.
Yeah.
And he played 28 minutes, and I know he missed all 3, but I'm not sure that's enough attempts for Frank Stain. Like, of course, you've got Jack Pagenkoff taking some of those. He had 15 attempts tonight, so some of those are being distributed elsewhere. But when you got a scorer as dynamic as Frank Stain, you probably want to see him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You finish 0 for 3. I mean, it's one thing to not make. You go 0 for 8. That's okay. You just couldn't get it figured out. But I just don't think 3 shot attempts is enough for Frank Stain in that regard. Hunter Schofield, brilliant night. Dason Youngblood, all he's going to remember about this game is missing 2 free throws down the stretch. But other than that, I mean, he's 5 of 12 from the field, 11 points, a couple of assists, 3 steals, 2 rebounds, and just a hustle play when you need it. So, you hope a guy like that can shake that off and get ready for a big road trip next weekend. But, lots of things led to this happening, and ultimately it was a collapse at home in regulation on your home floor. I mean, you had, for most of the last 5 or 6 minutes, the lead was between 5 and 6, got it down to 3, and then Betts, the hot hand, just was able to get a look from the right wing. And, if that shot rims out, we're not even having this, this conversation would have been over half an hour ago. But it went through, and that's kind of been the story. They hit shots in Colorado School of Mines when they needed to. Some big threes. They finished this night with 11 3-point shots, 11 of 27. And that's one thing you can look at, too. They made 3 more 3-point shots than Dixie State did. Dixie State made 8. Colorado School of Mines made 11. I mean, you can dissect it all you want, but you've got to hold on to that lead down the stretch.
They do. I thought it hurt having Andre Wilson foul out when he did. I think they could have used him defensively more than anything at the end of the game. I think that hurt Dixie State not having Andre Wilson available there at the end. But man, just a lot of little things. I think when you talk about little things lead to big things, there's a lot of little things that I'm sure Coach Judkins is addressing in the locker room today. But nonetheless, that's a tough loss, and you've got to forget it and move on. You can't let this turn into a streak. You know, this is where the mental toughness comes in, and your ability to regroup, keep your guys focused, make sure that the locker room stays connected. You know, that nobody's pointing fingers, and guys are still supporting and helping each other, because you need everybody. You know, they need everybody from top to bottom to continue this great season that they've started to this point.
Hey, one thing you do, you go in the locker room and you talk about it, and then you move on, like you said. I mean, you're 6-1 in the RMAC. You're still in the driver's seat. Yeah. I mean, you're still in first place. And you go back and you regroup and said, okay, now we got that one out of our system. Let's learn from it. We had to watch Colorado School of Mines celebrate on our home floor. And could very well be the last time they play here. And it's kind of saying like they got the last laugh on the home floor. A lot of basketball still to be played this season, but you learn from that, you move forward, and you have a big road trip. Like you said, you can't let it snowball into next week. And it's a tough road trip. You're going to MSU Denver, always a tough team, year in and year out. A team with national championships banners
tough
hanging in their arena in Denver. So you go and you play in Denver, and then you got a 5-hour drive up to Chadron, Nebraska. Yeah. So, you know, Colorado School of Mines is looking and saying, hey, we had a 4-hour drive last night. Enjoy that drive next week up to Chadron from MSU Denver. So you absolutely can't let it snowball, and it won't. They'll bounce back. And they'll be all right. And, you know, some growing pains, some adversity midway through the season, and it's gut check time.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And it's easy to sit here and talk about how great things are when things are going well. But when you have some adversity and some things not go your way, it becomes gut check time, and we're about to see what this Dixie State team is made of. You know, are they the top 10, top 15 team that we've been saying that they are, or are they going to fold under pressure? And I'm actually excited to see what happens next week. Excited for them to be able to go and wreak some havoc in Denver and in Chadron, Nebraska next weekend, and keep this thing going, because you've got the makings and all the ingredients that you need for a special season, and no one's going to go undefeated. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be tough times. And this team can still accomplish great things. It's going to be up to them to reach out and take those.
Yeah, I think the film room is going to be their best friend right now. There's a lot of things that they'll be able to point out on film. And you know, I thought that how they handled the overtime at New Mexico Highlands was textbook. They did a great job. Tonight, you know, it just didn't go their way. I look back at that possession at the end of regulation, 19 seconds left, tied game. You know, and Jack took a three at the top. I thought it was an open three. It's a shot that he consistently knocks down, but I thought there was time to maybe – I would have liked to have seen them try to drive. You know, at the first half, we talked a lot about Jack's ability to get the ball into the key and make things happen. He's got Hunter Schofield and guys that can make plays down low. I would have loved to have seen him blow by that guy at the top and try to make a play at the rim, maybe get a foul. I mean, if he could get the ball to Hunter Schofield, who was 9 for 10 from the free throw line tonight, trying to get the ball, make a play. He's smart. He's crafty that way, and I'm not going to fault him. He knows his rhythm, and the shot that he took at the top of the key he felt good about, and unfortunately it was just a little bit short.
Well, and I will say, good catch. By the way, they're throwing Frisbee around, and that thing came from halfway across the arena. You made the catch. What I noticed on that play was the fact that three, I don't think was the play that was drawn up. You could clearly see the ball went in, and after a couple passes, he knew the clock was winding down, and he had to get out of there and do something. Right. You could see Coach Judkins just exasperated, kind of looking away from it. And that wasn't the play he drew up. I'm sure the play was probably drawn to get it to someone like Hunter Schofield. I mean, it had 20, almost 20 points at that point. He was perfect from the free throw line. I mean, that's who you want. That's where you want the ball. You want him making a play inside, and if he's not scoring, he's getting fouled, and he's got a chance with a couple of seconds left to make a couple free throws. And, you know, if that happens, Colorado School of Mines has to go the length of the floor, but that's not what happens. And that's why you love basketball. That's why you love sports, because And that's why you look at student athletes and coaches, and you just admire what they do, because they're learning lessons here that they're going to be able to apply in life as well. And how are you going to bounce back when you get punched and when you fall down? Are you going to get back up and fight back? And it's up to Dixie State to be able to do that next week on the road. It's always tough to hand out awards in a loss. We've got to name a SkyWest Airlines player of the game pretty early on. It was looking like it was going to be easy, like it was going to be Jack Pagankoff. He finishes with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. Does have 4 turnovers, though. Was a little just amped up, I think I would say, early on. He was throwing, half-court bounce passes. Hunter Schofield, he comes on, 7 of 14, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 24 points, a couple of blocks, a couple of steals, an assist, only 1 turnover. I think he was the one, and he scored almost all of Dixie State's points in overtime.
Yeah,
as well. So I think if we're going to name a SkyWest Airlines player of the game, it's got to be Hunter Schofield.
I agree.
So we'll give that to him. Head coach John Judkins will join us here in the post-game report after Dixie State's 80-79 overtime loss here inside the Burns Arena. And Coach, one that kind of slipped away toward the end of regulation. Those ones you go back and you look at and you say it never should have gone to overtime, and it did. Tough one.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good team. I mean, if you would have told me before the game it was going to go to overtime and someone was going to lose by 1, I mean, we knew that the 2 very good teams competing, battling it. We were both favored to be at the top of the conference. We knew it was going to be a battle, but like you said, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. They didn't beat us. We kind of beat ourselves. We had some mental stuff late that we did defensively as well as offensively, and that's something, like I said in there, you hate to lose, but learn from those situations. Yeah. I got on Jack a little bit too. Late in games like that, the best thing you can do is get to the hole. And that's exactly what they did. They were driving it, and then we had to help, and then they kick it. Jack had a great game. He played well, he shot well. He wanted to win so bad, but he shot 2 threes that were, we got to get to the hole. We got to get to the hole. And but have your chance there, up, down, or up 1 with 20-something seconds, 2 shots. I mean, those are things you dream for.
Yeah.
We came up short. Foul shots happen like that, but we talked about before the game too. We talked about little things. The little things are going to win this game. A loose ball, a closeout, whatever. And I thought tonight we weren't very smart. We just did some things defensively. Number 5 hit a couple threes, and all of a sudden our forwards don't want to close out on him, and he hits another one. It's like, okay, what do we? Those kind of things I get really crazy about it. The guy hits a tough shot. They had a couple at the shot clock goes down. They do a leap and leaner and it goes in. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. But like you said, we kind of gave this one to him, and I told him, I said, hey, this is how league play's supposed to be, and the team that makes the last play or gets that little loose ball, that one more possession. It's like, you can't say, well, we missed foul shots, we lost the game at the end. That wasn't what we lost it. I told him, I said, what about the last 2 plays of the half, guys? We give up 2 wide open threes. Oh. We stopped that. It's a whole different, just little things like that, win games. But I love the effort. I just think we did some things, and I told him, I said, hey, we as coaches got to work on things. We did work on some last play stuff this week too. It's kind of funny how it all works out. But we just didn't do the things that we worked on. We didn't work on trying to get to the hole. We worked on shooting a tough shot. But it happens. They're good. Defensively, the overtime, they score 3 for 4, and we go 3 for 6. We get 1 stop in overtime. And how can you win a game when you don't get stops when it's tied? So it's tough. It's a tough one. We're going to learn. This team's going to beat a lot of teams. That's what I told them. Hey, this team's going to beat a lot of teams. So you're mad. You had this one. You should have won it. But there's a game this year we should have lost and we won. It's the same. It kind of goes around a little bit. But this team's going to beat a lot of teams. What we got to do is learn from it, and then we got to have a good week next week and go on the road and play 2 good teams and a long road trip. We got we got to go back and win those 2 games, you know, and then this game won't be as bad because this team's going to beat a lot of people home and away. They're good.
Coach, there were times your team looked really good, and it looked like they had control of the tempo. Were you content and okay with the tempo of tonight's game? I thought there were times where you really got out the ball and really pushed it and ran really well. But it seems like they were wanting to slow it down a little bit. Talk about the tempo of the game and how that changed.
That's a good point. Also, our game plan was to get out and run, and I thought we did that really well the first half. And then, they didn't do that. They like to walk it up and execute. And so we kind of want to get to a faster game. But again, we had leads. And so sometimes when you have a 6-7 point lead, you kind of want to get a good possession, good shot, and we didn't. I mean, we had – and then before overtime, we had 2 good shots. We had Jack gets a charge or whatever underneath the basket. We had our spacing was really bad on that one. I don't know what happened on that. We'll have to watch film. But you're right. I think we should have done better of keep pushing because I thought we have an advantage of running. Maybe I kept our guys in, Jack and Dason, in too long. They played a lot of minutes. But Andre gets in foul trouble. We had some foul trouble again tonight, and our guys on the bench came in and sparked us. But that second half, I kept them in. They got a little tired, and when you get tired, you kind of make some bad decisions, and that's something that I have to do a better job with too. But I love the hustle. I love the energy. It's just too bad it came down to us missing a shot and them making a shot, and that's what it was.
In a 1-point game, you tend to kind of go back and look at each basket or foul and. Did the referees give you much of an explanation when they called the flagrant on Cameron earlier in the game? Because we were looking at it going, they look at it, they see what they see. From my vantage point, it didn't look like there was any way that they were going to go flagrant with it, and then they did.
Yeah, well, again, the hard part about that is what can you do?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
It could be a bad call all the way around, and they can still just, you know what, I agree, let's do it. I asked the one ref, I said, hey, it's a judgment call, I get it. But have you played the game before? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so when a guy is going full blast at you at the basket and he dips his shoulder into you, what do you do? What would your reaction automatically be? You're going to protect yourself. And to me, that's what I thought Cam did. He jumped straight up, and then the guy came into him, and then his hands came down pretty hard. But it's something that we work on to go straight up and make him shoot tough shots.
True.
But he did go pretty hard. Give him credit. He went hard right at the guy. But I don't think Cam was trying to hurt him or trying to foul him extra hard. I just think he was trying to protect himself. And that's a tough call. It's a judgment call, and they have to make it. I thought they made the right call on the other one that Cam got, trying to get up. He was trying to get up. But again, we got to be smarter in those guys. We can't even give official a chance to do that.
Absolutely.
And that happens.
Certainly.
Happens. But that did change the game. When it was 70-70 and then Cam fouls that guy shooting a 3.
Yeah.
That's another tough one, where it's the same kid, it's hitting shots. We just didn't know where shooters were and did not react to them as well as we should have. I thought on number 1 we did pretty good, but we forgot about 5, and he hurt us a little bit that way. But, they're good. They're a good team. They're fundamental. They're physical. They're smart. They just don't beat themselves, and that's kind of what we want to do, the same thing. And tonight we kind of beat ourselves. But, this team's tough. This is going to sting, and I hope it stings a little bit for them because I hope this makes that feeling that I don't want this ever to happen again. And then we're going to be bounced back and great crowd again tonight. It was wonderful, and it was hard to see that. I thought the guy traveled there at the end, but. It happens. It's just a fast game, and they made a play tonight, and we missed. We didn't. And that when you play 2 good teams, those are the things that happen.
Coach, we appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks,
Good luck next week in Denver and that long trek up to Chadron afterward.
You sure you don't want to come on that trip?
Let's go. You got a spot for me?
That's going to be a tough one, but we'll have a good week of practice and prepare for it. And knowing these guys, they'll bounce back. They'll be tough, and this hurts, but it's not the end of the world. We got a long ways to go, and if we can grow and get better from this game, it was definitely worth it. So we'll see.
You know me, I want to be on every trip. That's just not the way it's working out this year. So
there you go. Okay,
thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Head coach John Gudkins in a tough 80-79 loss, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at. And we'll wrap this up quickly because it's late and people want to get going here. But I was trying to get at this earlier in our Guru Sports Grill post-game report that this one does sting. but, you know, as long as you do the right things and you learn from it, it still is only game 13.
Yeah.
And you've got 15 conference games to go. And there's still a ton of basketball to play, and you can't let this one game define you. No. Especially, you know, maybe if it was last night, or losing late in the season, and if it's in the RMAC tournament, if it's a team that for sure that you should beat, someone at the bottom of the conference standings, you're going to feel a lot worse about it.
Oh, absolutely.
But you never like to lose. But there's still so much to be done, and it's like you said, if we can learn from this, then at this point in the season, it is what it is. We'll take it. We'll try to bounce back next week.
It's all part of playing the game.
Last thing we got to do, and then we'll wrap it up. Catering Concepts play of the game, and that's easy. We had it in the first half. I don't know if we still have it readily available in the truck. It was Jack Pagankoff. The thing that I like the most about this is he started the play with a steal. He stripped the ball.
He tipped it.
Leighton Parker ended up with it, and then dished it back to Jack Pagankoff in transition. And Jack, here we go. We got it right here. Jack gets the steal. Leighton comes up with it. The dish in transition, behind the back, up and under, and lays it up and in. And there's your Catering Concepts play of the game. And that, to me, that's a Sports Center top 10 nominee. I mean, that could be top 5 in top 10. It's, of course, on a Saturday night. It's going to be tough when you're up against college, top echelon college basketball and the NFL playoffs. But what a play. That's our Catering Concepts play of the game. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Remind you, we'll be back on the call in a couple of weeks. We've got Colorado Christian. We've got Regis in town in a couple of weeks. January 17th, our next broadcast at 7:30. So be sure to tune in, watch the games when they're on the road next week in Denver and Chadron. We'll be back on the call 2 weeks from last night. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. A tough one, but see how this Dixie State team can bounce back. For Mike Olson and the entire CEC TV crew, I'm Carrick Segmiller, bidding you farewell, thanking you for listening. Have a good night, everybody.